Maybe. Possibly. Slobs, please. Okay, there we go. All right. Okay, here we go. Hello and welcome to another episode of Toonkind D&D. I am Hexabeast, normally known just as Hex, and I will be your DM for the day. And I am joined by three lovely players. Players, if you could introduce yourselves and who you are playing from the top of the call to the bottom, that would be great.
Hello. I'm Vamp, otherwise known as the Empire 1234. I am not playing the He Who Magic Man today. I am playing an asshole who goes by Amelia Coldheart.
Nice. Hello, I'm Dawn. I'm playing my absolute favorite dumbass king.
Hi, I'm Spades. I'm playing my new lethal dog, who is a sweetheart until the sass comes out.
This is gonna be fun.
Exciting, exciting. Oh boy, oh boy. Okay, so, excuse me, sorry about that. We are actually starting in, that's not what I need. Off to a great start. Where's my notes? There they are. Okay, so we are starting in Dreamworkers in the town of Berg. It's a it's kind of like a traveling crossroads. There's just because of its location. There's a lot of like different industries that all kind of converge into this area. So there's lots of trade. There's lots of shopping. Um, there's lots of like fashion things and of that nature. If you want to find something, like if you were on vacation and you're now traveling back home and you forgot to grab souvenirs, whatever, Berg is probably where you want to grab those because there's literally a little bit of everything from everywhere around here, including one of the rail systems that goes from Dreamworkers into Gisnep. And currently, y'all are about to board one of such train headed for the Gisnep Kingdom from Dreamworkers. Um, if y'all have a reason or an a bit of story as to what your character was doing here, or just if they're just traveling on through, that's totally fine. But how about uh how about you give a little blurb about what y'all are doing here?
Well, hmm, Amelia is something of a traveler.
Mm-hmm.
She doesn't actually have anywhere to stay, so she just goes from place to place with like gold that she earns from adventuring or like doing quests in like specific areas. And well, she's already like seen what Dreamworkers has to offer, and she's like done with the place. So to Gisnap Kingdom she goes.
Okay, all right.
Well, King is basically on the most extended gap year ever and has just been wandering from hither and yon. Uh she's been all the way off to, oh, what's that real kind country? I can't remember.
Firuma.
Uh Faruma. Yeah, she's been to Faruma, she's been to uh uh Ghibli, she's been a little bit of everywhere.
All right.
Just gonna keep wandering.
Excellent, excellent.
Um, Cyan is going on a year of traveling, kind of had a situation of running away from home to, see what the world has to offer. And at this point, she's kind of getting a bit more homesick. So she's not necessarily going home, but she is trying to be a little bit closer to home
uh,
because she doesn't want to be, at home just yet, but she also is starting to feel a bit nervous being so far away.
Understandable, totally understandable. All right. So y'all are boarding y'all are boarding, or at least in the area on the in the station to board the train. Um and there's like a clear, I don't want to say like a clear, but there is a pretty obvious like economy class tickets are all kind of grouped up over here, and all of the first class people are over on this half of the station just kind of waiting for their turn to board. And while y'all are waiting, how about I get some perception checks from everybody?
Oh, okay.
Oh boy.
Oh boy, perception.
Oh no.
Oh honey. Oh
That's
boy.
a 9 total.
Oh, fantastic.
12. Not as bad as I expected considering she has a -2.
Hey.
Wow. And an 18. Wow. All right, King.
Thank God.
All
You
right.
dropped your crown, King.
King living up to the name.
So, well, it wasn't a very hard perception to catch, but still, Amelia, you catch it, and King, you definitely catch it. In the midst of all of the economy class folks, you catch sight of a pair of real kind who look very out of place in that they're kind of staring in awe at this train. Especially King, especially to you, they look like they've never seen a train in their life. One is a real kind elf who is covered almost head to toe in clothing, and the other is a real kind human with blonde hair, and he is in a rather thick coat that with a sword on his hip. And then the other thing of note is there is a wolf with them, a very large wolf. But these two are, well, the elf is staring in awe at this train, and the human seems to be having a very animated argument with one of the rail attendants. And with that 18, King, my word, you can very easily hear bits and pieces of this argument, things like storage and weapon and safety and other words like no and unarmed.
Ah. Ah.
Oh.
Okay, yeah. King's gonna just sort of head over there and be like, "Hi, is everything okay? Is there something I can help with?"
The railway attendant, I don't know what they're actually called, so we're going with attendants, and I'm sorry to anybody who knows.
No, you're right.
Okay,
You're
good.
right.
Sounds
That's
good to me.
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
Okay, good. The attendant, he doesn't look frustrated. He just looks like this is an argument that he has so many times every day, and he is just resigned to this argument, but he's also knows he's gonna win this argument. Like that's kind of the tone you're getting from this, but he basically just explains, I was explaining to our real kind passengers here that all weapons must be kept in your hammer space, or barring the use of a hammer space, kept in storage for the duration of this excuse me, for the duration of our travel. To which, again, this human pipes up basic. Oh, gross. 1 second. No, you don't. Sorry. Sorry about that. A freaking bug just crawled across my keyboard. Anyway.
Gross.
Ew.
Oh, no.
Yep, gonna edit that out, but yep, gonna edit that out so that you don't hear that. But anyway, the human basically states that he is absolutely not going to be putting his weapon away. He is not going to be caught unprepared for anything, to which the elf helpfully responds by saying he is being paranoid, but also is not like trying to convince him to give up the sword. She's just chiming in unhelpfully as he bickers with this attendant.
Lovely. Well, I can keep a hold of it and just stay with you guys, and if you need it, I can just hand it to you. Is that Is that okay?
The,
that
hu-
work?
the human gives you like the strangest look you have ever seen. Um, and the half elf uh pipes up, or the elf, just the elf, not half elf. The elf pipes up with, "You don't even know us. I mean, I'm not going to say no. It would get us on the train faster, but uh that's certainly something to offer for someone that you've never met before."
Well, I mean, I kind of figure you'd do it for me, so. Oh, hi, I'm King. And she's gonna stick out a hand and be like, hi, we're friends now.
Excellent. The elf very enthusiastically takes your hand in hers, and she just goes, I'm Riona, and the grumpy one over here is Silas. And then this," and she gestures to the wolf at her side, "is Angel." And
Angel.
the wolf
Hello.
very
Hello.
the wolf very politely sits and offers a paw for
Yes,
you.
King is absolutely going to shake her paw,
Oh,
just very
fantastic.
formal,
Oh,
and then
fantastic.
be like, you're adorable, thank you.
Angel is sadly a wolf who does not understand speech, but has been trained and knows commands.
She'll pick up on the adoring tone of voice. Dogs do
Exactly.
that.
Exactly. So her tail is wagging, she is happy, but the attendant just kind of rolls his eyes and says, "As long as the weapon is put away for travel, I do not care how." And Silas Silas gives you just again like another very very suspicious look. He is not certain what's going on here. Where is his? Oh, good. Okay. Doot doot doot. That is not how you do that. There we go. Okay. And he very reluctantly, but he does pull this massive two-handed broadsword off of his, or longsword off of his hip, and he offers it to you, just as long as if as long as you're gonna be staying with us, you might as well.
Absolutely. And King's just gonna sort of awkwardly salute, grab the sword, and then shove it into her mane.
Fantastic. Um, with that, with that out of the way, the attendant finally steps to one side and goes, "You may now board. Since you have already presented your tickets." Except he turns to you, King, and basically just, I just need to verify your ticket is all. Uh, Mainly just to confirm that you are in the correct, like, as long you're not trying to like sneak in from first class. I don't know why you would do that, but hey, it's, you know.
I don't I don't I don't think I did. Um she's gonna, I guess, dig through her hammer space for her ticket.
Yep. All right. Hey. All right.
Up there we go.
Excellent. Okay. So the excuse me, the attendant just nods and then motions for the three of you to be able to board the train. Uh, Amelia and Amelia and Cyan. What are you two up to?
I'm assuming this train is like something similar to a traditional like British train. There are like there are compartments for every person.
Yes, there are. I was that will be I'll go into more detail on that once y'all get on the train. But yes.
Amelia's going to seek out an empty compartment, and then she's gonna do that thing where she sits on the one of the three chairs on one side and kind of like puts the suitcase next to her so no one can sit next to her, and then put her feet up on the chair opposite so no one can sit there either.
Absolutely
Oh, she's
incredible.
fun.
Absolutely incredible. All right.
Can I ask if I've seen the wolf yet?
Mm, yes.
Or have I? Okay. Um, Cyan is absolutely just enraptured with the wolf and is staying like 10 feet back, like trying to be sneaky but not succeeding very well, and it's just wide-eyed at this wolf and it's just amazed that it exists. So I am following them around. If they like go into a compartment, I will take like the next compartment,
Oh my
essentially.
gosh. Okay. Um so for hilarity's sake and because haha Amelia you thought Silas and Riona end up in the compartment next to yours. um and they uh Riona hasn't noticed you following them, Cyan. So she just kind of hops in. Angel very obediently just kind of lays down on the floor at her feet, while Silas, if he were able, would be doing the exact same thing as Amelia, in that he would be trying to take up as much room as possible. Uh,
No, don't do that. Don't follow her example. She's a bad example.
uh, but they do leave plenty of space for King to hop in with them. So that's not like you aren't going to be booted out of this compartment of the people you just met. But Cyan,
I hope not. I'm carrying their stuff.
exactly. But Cyan, that does mean if you want to be near this wolf that you are fascinated with, you will have to go into the compartment with Amelia.
I'm absolutely going into the compartment with Amelia. Like, I see that she's taking up as much space as possible, but from my count, there's still like one empty seat left, and I'm taking it. Absolutely. And like, there's not even any like shame in it or like pause. It's just, nope, I'm good. I can see that you don't want company, but like, I really want to see this wolf, so I'm sitting here.
Fantastic.
Amelia's just looking at you like, hey, this compartment's occupied. You're sitting in someone's seat.
Oh, I can get up if they come in. Problem?
God, she's so mad because she was actually going to take out her sword and just like put that in the final empty seat, but you sat down before she could.
No weapons allowed out in the train, Amelia. You heard the guy. You heard the attendant.
Did you listen though?
Make all the rules.
Fair. Oh my god. Absolutely incredible. Oh my gosh. Okay. So, as you all kind of settle into your compartments, the other people start to board. It's not a very full it's not very full. This particular car it looks to just be, you know, your group in the couple compartments, and then uh that's it. Others are boarding. You can see more tunes and more real kind pass you, like moving further into like try and also get empty compartments. Let's be real. Um, the Silas and Riona are, despite like Silas especially, despite like the air of nonchalance and don't care, they are both looking around just kind of mystified at this whole thing. Again, it is very clear, you don't even need to roll, that they have never seen a train in their lives. Uh and Riona actually leans over to King and kind of excitedly whispers, "This is gonna be our first time on a train. I've never even seen one before."
That's awesome. You're so lucky. These are so much fun. Like, you get to go places real fast and see so many things, and you don't have to do any walking if you don't want to. I mean, you can get out and walk to the food cart, but you don't have to. They're so much fun.
And she kind of has that, "Oh, there's a food cart?" Because she did not consider the possibility that they would be providing food on this ride. But there is, in fact, and as more people board and kind of outside on the actual like station, they're starting to close up the doors, and an attendant steps into the cart. Well, the car, and with your doors, like, politely requests you open your doors to, like, so that he can give the rundown of this whole thing. And he explains that I have to now find it. Where did it go? Ah, there it is. That the train ride will, excuse me, they will arrive in Gisnep the following morning. There are a couple of sleeper cars further back if you desire to not sleep, here in these cabins. There are a couple of lounge cars for you to actually get out and properly stretch your legs if you so choose. There is a dining car at 3 cars up from yours. And then beyond that will be the first class sections of the train, which you will require a ticket to move through. But beyond that, you are free to basically move about the train as you wish once they have pulled out of the station. But until then, if y'all could remain in your seats, or at least in this car before they get moving, that would be much appreciated. And then he waits for a confirmation, and then he moves on to the next car to repeat the whole spiel all over again. So, for the moment, it is just the five of you in this one car. I can count, I promise. And
Okay.
Riona is unable to sit still. She hops up and starts, like, looking out the windows. The train has not moved yet, but she is already looking out the windows. And Angel, ever faithful, is at her heels.
To be fair, King is also kind of hopped up and staring out all the windows, bouncing back and forth.
Excellent.
Cyan is also pretty excited because this is one of the very few trains that she's ever been on.
Aww.
So she is taking in just everything and is absolutely enamored by the whole process. And the fact that there is a wolf on the train with her is amazing.
Yes.
She keeps, like, can she see Angel from where she is in her car?
Oh, absolutely.
She just keeps staring at them.
Angel, like, seeing Riona is not really doing much. Angel eventually starts to, like, sit and look around and sees you, Cyan. And she's staring. And she tilts her head, kind of.
Like, Cyan, like, tilts her head back, and her tail is going, like, a mile a minute. She's so excited, and she cannot contain herself here. And she just kind of whispers, "Hey," and, like, waves one paw tentatively, and just, like, is bouncing in her seat.
Oh, Angel sits and tilts her head the other direction. Her tail has started to wag. And she eventually casts a glance at Riona and then wanders into this car. Or wanders into this cabin with you. Amelia, there is now a wolf in here.
Amelia looks like she's considering just leaving the compartment and finding another one.
Well, sadly you can't, because this car is now currently being, like, closed off while the train gets ready to depart. So you're trapped in here.
She's like, you know how you remember how she's seated? She's just gonna turn so that she's like looking like she's like facing towards the wall/window and not towards this wolf and dog.
Cyan 100% like is looking back and forth between Amelia and Angel, going, "Do you see this? Do you see this?" And like reaches out to like pet Angel like with one paw, like kind of just, "Hi,
Angel,
are you a friend?"
Angel patiently waits until you are almost petting her head, and then she just kind of bump right into your hand. And her paws start like tapping because she's getting attention. She's happy.
Like absolutely just like squeals. She's so happy, and like she pets it. She's like, "We're best friends now. That you're my new friend. This entire train ride. Oh my god, I've never seen a wolf before. This is so cool, so cool." And like she she looks over to the elf and is just like, "How did I get a wolf?"
Riona actually startles because she had no idea that, like, Angel. She had no idea Angel had kind of moseyed from her side, but she turns and just, I'm so sorry if Angel is bothering you. She gets excited when there are when she gets excited around new people. But she's my companion. I've had her for, she kind of counts on one finger, or on one hand, I mean, on one hand. I've had her for about 3 years now, I think. She's, she's my companion. Long story short, she's her ranger. She's her animal companion. She's a ranger, so, um, but,
Cyan is
oh, go ahead.
so excited. Oh no, she's just so excited. She's just like, that's so amazing. I can't believe that you managed to tame a wolf. Where did you find her? Was it in the mountains? Did you go into a forest? Was it a big long quest that you had to go and like do a bunch of trials to get a wolf friend? Like this is so cool. I love
Riona just Riona is like rubbing the back of her neck, just ah well, in our homeland, there are a lot of wolves. Um so it wasn't very hard to find one, I guess, but I mean she kind of found me in a way. uh she and well, she's very good at helping me out when I need it. So I kind of just didn't have the heart to, let her go, and she doesn't seem to mind.
Cyan is still like, it's like, it doesn't matter that this is like a domestic-ish wolf. She's still so excited. She's just like, she bounces out of her seat towards Riona and it's just like, "What's your home like?" And just is like here for stories and to hear everything about this wolf and where this person has come from and like the different land this person's come from.
Oh my
And
gosh.
it's just 100% here for it.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
Fantastic.
Yes, story time. Story time.
Riona, Riona kind of like, again, like rubs her neck. She's not very used to all of this attention. It's like she's not withering away from it. It's just, this is new. This is interesting. All right, we'll roll with it. But she she kind of like sits or like leans against the wall so that, she's not standing. An Angel, catching this, comes over and like leans against her as well. But to save my voice, I'm sorry, I'm not gonna do her voice so much.
Oh no.
She
Don't worry.
she basically explains that she and Silas are from a country called Verona, and it's literally on the other side of the globe. At least the boat ride made it feel that way, because that's like they had to get here by boat, and it took a very long time. But Verona is it's a very small island. Kingdom Island is the best way I can describe it. Um, it's got one major like city and then just a bunch of little smaller towns, but the whole thing is still just it's all Verona. And there's there's lots of like wooded land, and there's really high cliffs, and that's where like the kingdom like castle sits on, is on the edge of these cliffs, and it's very very pretty and idyllic. And if you know what the city of Corona in the Tangled series looks like, that's what this is. um, but she explains all of this, and any kind of like details about the temperature. The big thing she does mention, and this explains a few things, is that it is much much warmer in Verona than it is here. And that she kind of motions to Silas, who is still in a heavy coat that is lined in fur, and basically just says,
Oh my god.
"We are not very used to the cold. It's been an adjustment. Winter was not fun." Even Angel seems to have gotten fluffier to account for the winter. And Angel just is like panting at Riona's side, just kind of like vibing. She doesn't care. She's happy. And Silas, once he's like caught on that Riona has started to like mention him and stuff, rolls his eyes and just keeps looking out the window. Like very, but then he'll like glance back. So he's trying to play it like he's not paying attention. He's paying attention.
Well, she mentions that it was cold, and King just immediately goes and pulls out her knitting needles and is like, "I am going to make you a scarf, and you will not be cold."
Oh.
I love it. Yes. Riona's eyes light up at that. Just, well, you don't have to do that. That's,
What's your favorite color? What's your favorite color?
well, I, I, I like, green. She's just so taken aback. She is not sure what to do here.
Everyone loves her.
Yeah, pretty much. Just immediately pulling out green yarn and starting to knit.
Riona is just so baffled. She is not sure what to do here, but she is not going to stop you because you've been very kind and helpful thus far.
Cyan is just continuing to ask her questions about like her home and like the culture, the food, like the jobs that people work, like what type of stories they do, like, and like that sort of like childlike questions after questions after questions after questions, and like will eventually stop if asked, but just like is so enraptured by this opportunity to hear new stories from people halfway across the globe.
Oh, fantastic.
Pretty much, yeah.
And Riona is going to happily explain them. Hey, Amelia, how you handling all of this going on in your car, or in your cabin?
Party.
Did not sign up for this, did she?
No, she's just sitting here. She's just sitting here and like just staring out of the window and trying to like shut everyone up.
Okay, that's fine. As the as Riona kind of explains, like, she's actually explaining the food to y'all. It's typically a lot spicier than the stuff like the stuff you'd find in Inkwell, because a lot of like there's a lot of spices that are apparently only only really found around Verona, and it's really hard to get those anywhere else. And nobody quite gets it like the same as home. So she's been a little homesick for some good first like food that she knows. But she's mid like explanation of one of her favorite dishes when the when the sound of like the train whistle sounds, and then the whole cart kind of like lurches as the train starts moving. And oh, actually, I just now realized I need to do this because poor Riona.
Oh, no.
Let's see. That would. Oh wait, no, she has that. Never mind. So just to make sure, because she's standing. So okay, good.
Oh, good.
She does not. So she does not fall over when the train lurches. But she does stumble pretty significantly, to which Angel is immediately like on her other side and catches her. In a movement that is very well practiced between these two, apparently. Like Riona doesn't miss a beat. She just kind of sits up. And when she stumbles, Silas also sits up for a moment before she rights herself, and then he kind of settles back into his seat. And just kind of like grumpily mentions, they did say to remain seated until the train got moving. And Riona, even though you can't really see it behind her mask, seems to stick her tongue out at him. So... But...
Nice.
Yes. Whatever Riona was going to say is completely forgotten, because now she is looking out the window as the train moves. This is all completely fascinating. This is all just completely new, and she is now immediately enraptured again. So I apologize, but your explanation of food and more things from their country has to wait.
No, now she gets a chance to talk about trains and how cool trains are.
Yes.
And like that's what the conversation. She's just going on a motor right now because like she's gotten started and she's not stopping.
And King is trying to teach them all how to play the animal game. Like, oh, hey, I see a cow. There's another cow. It's a horse. 2 points.
Oh, fantastic. Riona will...
Ryan immediately joins in.
Riona does too. Amelia, what you doing?
She just rolled her hammer space and took out earplugs. And she just like shoves it into her ears and goes back to staring broodingly out of the window.
Oh my god. Amelia, absolutely incredible. All right. So, as y'all are, as the train starts getting moving, y'all kind of settle into a pretty, like, chill banter of the animal game that, and as the train gets moving, you start to hear, like, other passengers move around, like, in the cars, and people start to kind of, like, move between cars slowly, as things start to settle in. There we go. But for the most part, it is very chill and quiet right now. Even Silas, like, he's been very clearly, like, also mystified with moving train moving. What the hell? But he's starting to, like, relax around y'all. And he's starting to, like, as Riona is now also is going back to sharing some stories about Verona, he is also, like, piping up with information that, like, Riona leaves out. And so, like, talking about some of their like, holidays and stuff, he mentions the Harvest Festival and like how, and like some of the customs associated with that, and he mentions the Solstice Festival and the customs associated with that, etc., etc.
All the really cool stuff.
Yes, absolutely. And that's eventually he it is Silas who asks this, but he kind of looks at between you and King and Cyan, and he just kind of asks, have you ever been to Gisnep before?
I've been through it before. I mean, I've been a little bit of everywhere in Nyquil, I think. I've been to Furuma before too. It was kind of cool.
Huh.
But yeah, it's a town.
It's
It's a town.
he kind of ponders a minute, and then he asks, "Have you heard any kind of have you heard any like news of anything going on there?" And if you can't think of anything, I will happily provide it. Like if you want to roll history, I will happily provide some random bits of stuff that happened if you don't want to come up with anything.
Yeah, because I'm like, oh geez, that could be anything.
Yeah. It could be literally anything. So, oh, that's a 2.
I can.
Yeah, that's
I'll,
not my
I'll roll
strong suit.
history.
That's fine. It's totally fine.
Oh shit! I rolled a 19 plus 5. That's 24.
Holy crap.
Nice.
Nice. Okay. So King, you can really only kind of rattle off some of the big stuff, like reluctantly the taffy train the taffy train fiasco that happened a year ago. But don't worry, that won't happen to this train. It's fine. It's fine. Don't think about it.
Don't worry, don't worry.
Don't worry. Don't worry.
There were zombies. I hear there was something about zombies. It's okay. There's no zombies here.
Yeah. But like beyond the big major event, and a couple of other big major things going on in Happiest Place, which is the main city. You haven't really heard of like anything smaller than that occurring. Cyan, with your 23 or 24,
Yeah.
24, again, the same, like those same big events. Watch me trying to pull from other games here on the fly. Yeah. You hear you mentioned some things like stuff that went down in like Toontown. A lot of events actually kind of going down around Toontown and that neighboring area. Toontown seems to be a hot spot for a lot of activity in the Gisnep Kingdom. A lot. You mentioned there was which is also kind of where the whole zombie fiasco occurred, was in Toontown as well, now that you think about it. There were a couple of like minor other, bits of news per city. There were, but like whatever Silas seems to be looking for, you haven't mentioned it. And he kind of, huh? Oh, go ahead.
Oh, no, I was just gonna say, like, I will say, like, as the more and more she talks about this, the more she sort of, like, starts looking, like, more anxious as she realizes, like, things have been getting worse around Toontown. She's just, like, shuffling her feet, like,
Aww.
and, like, is starting to get, like, kind of upset by the end of it and kind of, like, trails off.
Aww. Oh, no. No, okay. So, Riona, let me roll an insight for her and see if okay, yep. So Riona can catch this, and eventually she just kind of, it's okay. You don't have to keep, telling us everything. I'm sure we can get a good summary of events in Toontown once we arrive. Is that? No, we're going to Happiest Place. We might be passing through Toontown. I can't remember. I'll have to double check. But anyway, we can just look. We can get a summary somewhere else. You don't have to like give us the whole rundown. It's fine.
She just kind of, like, nods numbly. It's just like, well, do you guys know anything about Toontown? What are you guys traveling on the train for?
Oh, we're, and Silas interrupts. We're looking for someone. He just matter of factly, we are looking for someone. that's kind of why we're here in Inkwell to begin with. Another real kind. And we think they might, well, we got a lead that they might be in Gisnep somewhere, which, judging by the size, is going to take a bit, but we're looking for someone. He doesn't really know how to continue that statement, so he just kind of leaves it there for a minute.
Who is it? Maybe we've run into him. I mean, probably not. There's probably a lot of real kind even in Inkwell, but maybe.
He kind of fidgets a moment, and then, well, if she looks like a real kind, then she might be in disguise. It wouldn't put it past her. But we're looking for a half-elf, and he digs in his bag, because they don't have hammer spaces, sadly. And he produces what looks very much like a wanted poster. And there's a drawing of an elf or a half elf on this poster. And here you go. Boop. But she very much just kind of a normal looking half elf. There's nothing really but Silas is frowning at this image, and he just says, she goes by Borrow, and well, we're pretty sure she fled to Inkwell, and now we're looking for her, and we got a lead that she might be in Gisnep. So, but she also has been in disguise a lot, so chances are we are gonna have to we're gonna have to keep looking.
Okay. Well, if I see her, I can try and find you guys and tell her.
Absolutely not.
Oh.
He is like, you do not want to mess with her. She is bad news.
And King is just like sad puppy eyes, like, but I can help. Sad puppy eyes. Blink, blink, blink.
Cyan is like kind of stilled hearing all of this and just is like, who is she to you?
Silas kind of just like taps this big scar going across his forehead, across his face. And Riona fidgets a bit, and then she says, she kind of destroyed a fair bit of of Verona on her own, and when we stopped her, we thought for good. It turns out we did not.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Why did she do that? Why did she go on, just a rampage? Like, do you...
I don't, we all kind of thought we knew. And then Silas just puts a hand on Riona's shoulder, and he just says, she made her choices, and she knew full well what those consequences would be, and now she's trying to escape from those consequences, and I'm not gonna let her do that. And he kind of just nods matter-of-factly at that. And, hey, Amelia, you've been hearing all this with your earplugs in, have you?
I will be honest, like she isn't like getting in on this. Like she has like already like put the earplugs on, and for all intents and purposes,
Mm-hmm.
like she hasn't like contributed to the conversation at all. You guys aren't even sure if she's been listening. She might not be, because again, she has earplugs in her ears.
Mm-hmm. Um,
Mm-hmm.
mm-hmm. I figure I would check in just to see.
Oh.
Fantastic.
Well, this took a turn.
Whoopsie poopsie, it's okay. Don't worry about it. We're about to, because, kind of as Silas says that, the door to your car opens, and, you just hear, like, babble as people, like, as Toons and people move through, like, making their way, probably, you presume, to the dining car, now that things have, started moving pretty at their own pace. And you see, like, an entire group of Hausen-style chickens all just kind of, like, chatting to each other as they move on past. And, like, there's a rubber hose, there's, like, a really, really, like, big rubber hose bull that, that moseys by as well. And then, like, the best way I know how to describe it is, like, the Prince Charming style frog. Also kind of, like, saunters haughtily past, like he's clearly in the economy class, and he just does not want to be. But, like, they all kind of start making their way through your cart. And as they all pass, an attendant, like, pokes their head in and mentions, dinner is going to be ready. Dinner is going to be served in the cart in about 30 minutes. Which Riona, in a desperate bid to latch onto a new topic, basically just claps her hands and goes, "Oh, excellent." Turns to you guys and just goes, we've never had a lot of actual cooking here. Maybe you could recommend something? They're desperate, like, let's change the topic.
Yes, we can find you food. It will be good food. Yes, let's go get food. And King almost takes off, heading for the food cart, and then stops and turns around and goes, "I've got your stuff. I need to wait for you."
Silas, he actually cracks a little smile at that. My God. And he doesn't say anything. He just seems, like, pleasantly surprised you waited. But he also stands up and follows you into the car, to the dining car. And Riona has a hand on Angel as, like, y'all make your way through. The train is set up in such a way that, thankfully, you don't actually have to, like, go outside. Like, there's little, like, I don't know specifically what they're called, but it's, like, little, extendable bits that connect each cart that they can then, like, that they can extend when the train is moving, so that you're not walking through open air. Like, I can picture it perfectly in my head. I just don't know what they're called. But so you don't have to actually worry about, like, walking on the outside of the train or anything.
Okay. Well, that's good.
Yeah. But if there's anything specific food-wise, you are free to have it be on this train. It's like, it's a Toon train. Whatever you want, they've got. So
There's definitely ice cream.
There is ice cream. All right.
Cyan is most definitely going for like burger and fries and like a root beer float.
Oh my god, yes. Oh, that sounds good. Riona actually is very interested in burger because they don't have things like that in Verona.
Don't have burgers?
They don't.
For shame.
Oh no, you've got to try all of them now. We gotta get you all sorts of different burgers and oh man, what kind of sandwiches do you have?
You can have as much
What
food
kind of
as you
sandwiches
want.
do you
Come try things.
Oh,
eat them all?
Okay. Okay. And she just kind of she kind of just starts accepting food as you offer it to her. Oh, I need
If
to.
she doesn't eat it all, I promise you, King will.
We have two little bottomless pits here.
Fantastic. I'm so happy. So Riona and Silas do kind of, I'm not going to say resign themselves to all of these, to trying everything, because they're enthusiastically trying this food, but they very clearly weren't expecting this, and they Riona is just in awe of just this fried chicken. She is absolutely floored by fried chicken. It is the kind that they would have in Verona is not as, she describes it as not as flavorful, but really it's not as crispy, salty would be the best way that I would know how to describe the difference between them.
The crunchy deliciousness
Yes.
part.
Yes, exactly. And so she knows fried chicken. She wanted to try it. She likes this fried chicken a lot better. But as y'all are getting introducing these two real kind to the various foods, hey Amelia, can you roll me a quick perception check?
Okay, sure. You're asking the one with a -2.
I know, but I need you to roll me a quick perception check.
Oh, that's not that bad,
That
actually.
is not actually that bad. Let me double check what my DC was. Somewhere. Ah, here we go. Okay. So, about. So, you're vibing in now, quietly, in your empty, cabin.
Mm-hmm.
And you feel it. You feel it primarily because it is quiet. The engine for the train seems to lurch subtly, and you can feel it seem to speed up a bit.
Amelia kind of blinks at that, and
Okay.
and she's taken out her earplugs once the people left,
Mhm.
once everyone left, and was kind of relishing in the fact that there's no one else in the compartment right now.
Alone
But
at last.
she's just like, what the heck is up with this train? As she feels the engine lurch, then speed up.
Mm-hmm. That's all you really get from that. Just a fun aside. Everyone vibing in the food cart also now. Feel free to roll me some perception checks.
Oh boy.
I will. Oh goodness.
Very busy trying to show all the fun
Exactly.
foods.
Yes, exactly.
I'll use a dice roller. That is not the
Almost.
correct way to put things in.
Wow, that is not
What
correct.
am I
Oh.
doing?
Riona rolled a 2, so it doesn't matter.
Oh no, she
Wow,
rolled
right.
a D2.
Oh, oops, I just messed that all up. Let's try that again. My god.
So technically she rolled
Okay.
max there.
Yeah, let's try that again. Wow. Okay.
Hey!
All right. And then Silas gets
There
to
we
roll.
go.
Silas gets to roll, which he doesn't. No, he doesn't. Yep. So this will be fun. So none of you notice. Oops, sorry, Inky. Move your butt. Sorry, I just kicked my cat.
Kick me dead.
For a second there, I thought you were talking about Inky the artist, and I was
No,
very confused.
This is not the first time I have done that, and I am always just, sometimes I regret naming her Ink Blot, but it's okay. But
It's a good name.
Yeah, she's a good girl. She's a good girl. Anyway, who probably needs fed. Anyway, perception checks. Okay, all right. So y'all don't notice anything. Y'all are very much still just like, again, showing these real kind there, all of the wonders of food. Silas is enamored with the concept of all of these like greasy foods is the best way I know how to describe it. He has never had food like this before. He's like, he actually even kind of mentions offhand that he was in the Royal Guard, and they definitely never had food like this. So he is just loving it. And he he catches sight of pizza, and he kind of stares at it a minute, and seems to like file that away for later. He doesn't grab any, but he stares at it for a long moment, and then he moves on. Because apparently he really likes burgers. He really likes burgers.
It's because they're the perfect food.
They are the perfect food.
Trying to introduce him to like condiments to put on burgers. Like some people like mustard, and some people like ketchup, and some people are weird and want mayonnaise on it. But I don't judge. It's okay. You want to try any on your burger? And like it's just like some people put chips on their burgers, and just like it's giving like a burger like education lesson.
Oh my god. He finally like he's eaten one. And then, because there's still so many, he has finally resolved, like, first off, he produces a knife from his boot that the conductor did not, or that the attendant did not take away.
Oh my freaking god.
You thought this
That's
man only had a
amazing.
sword? Of course not.
Treasure.
But he produces a knife, and then he proceeds to cut this stupid burger in, he cuts this burger into sections so he can like try various bits more without filling up fast.
That's so smart.
He may have 8 intelligence, but sometimes those brain cells just fire just right.
Yes.
But while you all are doing this, Riona is also like enthusiastically just like trying food, but then she kind of glances around the cart and frowns a little at the attendants, like but she doesn't really like, she doesn't bring attention to it. She just kind of frowns for a moment and then resumes eating with y'all, because she's never been on a train before. Maybe whatever's going on is fine.
Do I notice she's sad, or that she seems like off-put for a second?
I'll say yes.
Yeah, like I just kind of look at her, like tilting my head a bit, and I'm like, "Hey, what's the matter? You seem, it's like, did you try something that wasn't good? There's other things."
No, nothing like that. And she kind of motions to like the attendants that are manning the food, like, well, not manning the food, but like are bringing out the food. They bring out like another tray of, just to replace whatever's been taken. They look kind of nervous, like hurried, like they set it out and then they quickly rush back out to wherever they were going, a lot faster than you would expect. Like even for a dinner rush kind of deal. That's really like, that's all you notice, but the attendants kind of like, in the face of the all of the passengers, they seem to be acting pretty normal, but you catch, like, as they're leaving, something is definitely, like, the attendants are definitely worried about something.
Just kind of looks at it. Huh. Well, that's not ideal. I mean, if you want, maybe we could ask them why they seem upset. And she looks over to King for like validation because she uh admires
Yeah.
King a little bit, just like has knitting skills, has a skill I don't have, obviously friend shaped.
Aww.
Oh,
Oh my god.
oh God. Yes, yes. King is gonna be like, yes, we will see if they need help, and then we will help them, and I don't know, we'll get extra food. That's always good.
Yes.
Maybe
Excellent.
they're just running out of food and we can help them make more food.
Yes.
I love it. Oh, I love it. All right.
Optimism.
Optimism. All right. All right. So y'all are gonna approach one of the attendants?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So the attendant looks at you, and again, like, immediate professional mode, like, clicks on. It's, yeah. And they just, yes, how can I help you? Is there something that you need? Or something that you require?
Actually, we were gonna ask if you guys were okay. You all seem kind of frazzled. Is there something we can help with?
Yeah, we're happy to lend a hand if you need one.
The attendant, oh god, I don't have stats for this. Well,
Whoop.
whoopsie poopsie. So,
Like if it's
oh, go ahead.
like if it's just like doing dishes or something, I can do that. I've done that before.
No, there's nothing like, no, nothing like that. Nothing like that. Nothing is wrong at all. Everything is perfectly fine. Everything is perfectly fine. It is not fine. His deception was a nat 1.
Oh my god.
I physically cannot roll lower than a 3 on insight, so like we're
No,
gonna
you
go with we recognize that.
Yeah, no, you guys know, like,
Yeah.
something's wrong. Something is wrong. This man is lying about there not being nothing wrong, and he does not know how to handle it, and he is not okay. And he's trying very hard to assure the passengers that nothing wrong is going on.
Cyan like walks up a little bit closer to him and like pats his leg and it's like, it's okay to ask for help. We can help you some way. It's okay.
Oh, roll persuasion for me, please.
Okay, hold on.
King's just back there giving him the puppy eyes, like we can help.
Roll with advantage. Because
Roll
King
with
is
advan-
help.
Yay.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Okay, I don't know how to roll these.
Just roll twice.
Wow.
Okay.
Okay, that's a 19. Roll to see if you crit.
Oh no, I rolled a 7 the first time.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. I get you.
Persuasion. Okay, I just want to make sure I had like a plus in persuasion because
Yeah,
there's
yeah.
a plus in so many skills. And then let's do
Oh,
that
wow.
again.
Yep, that's a 17. Dice parser. Okay.
Okay,
And a 16.
14.
Yep, you guys are. So the attendant
Help.
the attendant looks at you two, looks back to the cart, like the dining cart and all the passengers, and kind of just has that like, okay, come with me. We are not. Just come with me. We don't need to upset any of the other passengers right now. Just come with me. And he steps into another. Car. Which and Riona and Silas also will kind of stand up and follow out because you guys clearly made some headway here. So.
All right.
Yeah.
Following along.
And so he leads you away from the passengers until, like, it's a little quieter. And eventually, he turns to you guys and just very hushly says, there has been a uh, a threat made against everyone on this train and the train itself. Uh, we've been informed that there might be some runes rigged to maybe blow if the train slows down. Um, it's okay though. We are getting in touch with the station at Happiest Plays to try to get some wizards out here till we can dimension door all of the passengers to safety. And then we'll figure out what to do with the train. He does not sound very certain because I'm still rolling with this nat one. So, like, he is telling you what is going on. He is still trying to assuage and like everything will be fine. He is not sure that everything will be fine. He is not okay right now.
Not good.
Yeah.
Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh
So,
dear. Oh dear. Oh dear.
uh,
And King is starting
yeah,
to look a little concerned.
yeah. He just kind of has this nervous like, we we know whoever did it is still, or whoever supposedly set these runes is still on the train. So we are hoping that once, everybody's off, we can start questioning and figure it out and we'll get it all taken care of. But just for now, please, just if you could just kind of keep this on the down low so that we don't have train-wide panic. That would be super great. And,
Just kind of grumbles. I think trains are cursed. I thought it had been long enough since Kathy trained and things would be done. But trains are cursed, and then she just
Hate trains.
and Riona and Silas eventually just pipe up with, what if we were to find whoever set these runes and convince them to maybe disable them? And the
We do that.
the attendant, oh yeah, the attendant kind of has a, can you do that? Riona shrugs, can we?
And like, Cyan looks between us like, why don't we disable the runes? Is that a possibility? Can we just like get rid of the runes?
Well, you, This attendant is thinking very hard, and he finally is like, I don't see why not? Question mark? Hey, Amelia, you can hear all of this, by the way. They're in the cart next to yours.
Yeah, Amelia's like, I think this is when Amelia like turns around and just like, well, hold on, I need to get into asshole hero mode.
You gotta get the right one.
Hold on, it's that meme where I'm like, hold on, I'm shifting into baby mode as if I'm really and she's just like, what? So you guys need what? So we need to like track down whoever's doing this and beat them up.
Well, I wasn't going to suggest that, but and Silas just interrupts with, if we have to use force, then yes.
Amelia just continues with a, they can't make the train explode if we beat them unconscious.
And like, Cyan just kind of like looks at her with the like, "Are you dumb?" kind of expression. It's just like, the first time we hit them, they're probably going to explode the train anyways. You might want to do like, I don't know, a hold person spell or a suggestion spell. I don't know, something other than violence, and just kind of like shrugs dramatically.
She doesn't even like look like offended. She's just like, well, not if we make that one blue count.
That's true.
What are you gonna do with that sword? You gonna stab me? You better make it hurt. You better make it count.
Kill me in one shot.
She's not actually holding her sword right now because it's still in her hammer space. But yeah, like, you know, she's just like, she is a simple person. She's just like, oh, someone wants to make the turn. Hey, next hood crosses out the kill, beat them up.
All right. Well, fantastic. Okay. So the attendant nervously just like, okay, I can show you what's going on. I guess we don't have a lot of options right now while we wait to see what Gisnep's response to all of this will be. So, yes, I guess follow me. And he just kind of nervously starts marching his way to the front of the tree. Oh my god. So you all God, I'm sorry, I just glanced at the walnut gallery. So y'all are moving through the cabins. You make your way through the dining car, which still has the gaggle of chickens just kind of all like chattering amongst themselves, happy as can be. And then you make your way into the first class cars. Excuse me. The first class dining car is the first one you pass, or the first one is the one you enter. Well, first you would enter the kitchens and then into the first class dining car. And whereas like all of the food in y'all's dining car was, I'm not gonna say it was lower quality. It was more just, it's easy to make. It's like it's greasy junk food. It'll fill you up quick. Like, ain't nothing special about it. This is all your very fancy, like, there's hors d'oeuvres made, and little finger foods, and there's a sommelier off to one side with a selection of wine for those who wish to have wine with their meals. And so it's very much just a fancier thing, and you all step in and like, it's kind of like the scenes where, you know, people step into the saloon and everything stops. Like, all of these rich people just kind of stop and look at y'all as you enter their dining car.
I will say, well, they were passing through the kitchen. Like, Amelia probably took, like, I think she probably took, like, one of the finger foods or something and is currently chewing on it.
Fantastic. Incredible. So, these people all just, like, these rich people all just kind of look at you, but they see you are being led by an attendant and don't really raise a fuss. And like, you can hear one woman particularly just, they have an animal with them, like referring to Angel, who just doesn't care. Like, happy following Riona. As y'all make your way through these cars, whatever, it's fine. You make your way through the lounge cars and the first class sleeper cars and a first class smoking. Like, there's a smoking cart here. Yeah.
Ew.
But eventually, you do in fact make it up into the engine. And and you just, it's a train engine. Like, there's nothing special going on here, except for the part where the conductor is furiously, like, on a telegraph machine, just like, you know, until the attendant walks in, and then he stands up straight and turns to the attendant and then sees you guys and just goes, can I help you?
We're here to stop the train from exploding. How can we help?
uh, he, you, you told them. I told them. Why did you tell them?
We're really persuasive.
They
And
were
well,
really persuasive.
And King just gives him the puppy dog eyes to demonstrate.
I would like to point out that Cyan is canonically a child, but looks so determined. Like, I've got this, but it's that like child determination that like you can't. It's very obvious.
Yes. And I mean, the conductor's a tune. He knows what's like. This is like, okay, yep, we're filling these cliches. We're filling these tropes right now. All right. Well, if any of you know any kind of, if any of you are magically trained, you're welcome to have a look at some of this. We can't, there's a few more. Whoever did this must have done it, like, while we were getting all of our last minute checks done, so they were pretty quick about it, but he kind of, like, motions to, like, motions to the control panel of the train. Which, roll me Arcana.
Yeah. I'm excited.
My strong. Oh my god, that is my strong
Oh!
suit.
Nice! That is a nat 20. Nice.
Heck yeah.
All right.
Nice.
Does anybody
Woo!
else wish to roll Arcana or no?
I will roll for fun.
but I don't think
Nope.
I would
That's valid.
pass this 20.
Oh wow, Amelia, you actually you know a little bit. Like, you know a little bit. Let's see here. Do either of you have Arcana? Oh, Riona does. Okay. Let's see here. I don't think she needs it with that D20, but or with that nat 20. But well, all right.
No.
We'll
man.
take it.
Okay.
Not 20.
No, nat 20 still wins. Like, that's so Amelia and, well, first off, Cyan, that certainly is a control panel that's got some glowy things on it.
Wow, it looks like a problem.
Yeah, that sure looks like a problem. Amelia, you do notice there's a couple of, like, blasting runes inscribed on the control panel. They look way higher caliber than anything you have seen. And King, when you look at these runes, you immediately can tell, like, yep, these are some blasting runes. They are very volatile. They are very unpredictable. It's kind of like handling some nitroglycerin. You don't really want to jostle these things too much sometimes. The other thing you know is that while, yes, any caster can potentially dispel these runes, there's also a chance that they could just explode in your face. So your best bet to kind of make sure that these runes are dispelled safely is to find the original person who set them. And a bit of good news, they cannot be remotely triggered. Like, whatever their trigger mechanism is, which the attendant had said was the train slowing down, that is what will cause them to go off. Like, they cannot be, like they can't be remotely detonated, is the best way I know how to describe this.
Okay.
So that's a bit of
okay.
good news. But yeah, the bad news is you might need to find the original person who did these to make sure that they get dispelled correctly.
All right. Well, King just sort of her back just hit the wall a little bit, like, oh god, oh god, oh god. And she is currently doing the hands over her face, breathe into a bag type thing.
Oh,
Because,
baby.
oh
Aw.
god. And once she gets herself calmed down a bit, which is gonna take a minute,
Oh no.
she is gonna explain. Yeah,
Okay.
this is
Angel is
this is
coming
gonna
over.
go bad.
Angel is coming
Oh.
over and throwing her weight on you because she's a service dog
Oh.
and she has detected distress, and so she's
Oh.
offering comfort.
Oh, that is. King is absolutely gonna hug her for a minute, just like.
Oh, yes.
Oh.
Good. Yay. All right.
Okay. Okay. And she's gonna explain all of that.
Yeah. Okay.
Kind of shaky, but she's explaining it.
Yeah. So that your explanation does provide actually a surprising amount of insight to everyone aboard, like or in the room. The conductor clearly was unsure of like, so that like the conductor clearly is kind of has a if we can find whoever did this, there is a chance we can get them to disable these before anything potentially catastrophic can happen. And he's
Please, just get someone higher level than I am, please.
uh the conductor kind of has a moment of, I've been in contact with the people at with the station at Happiest Plays, and they're assembling a group to come deal with this and get everybody off. But if the thing is, we might not be able to catch whoever did this. If that's the case, they might get away scot-free. And
Can't let that happen.
Silas just kind of nods, and Silas just, I mean, we're here. We can. I'm willing. I don't know. I'm willing to help. I'm not...
Yeah, I'm willing to throw in my lot in as well. That's what a hero does.
Silas just gives like a sage nod alongside Amelia. Like, yep. Mm-hmm.
I'm just imagining they're both standing next to each other, and despite one being real kind, one being a toon, they're both standing in the exact same way and with the exact same expressions.
Yep. Exactly. Like arms crossed.
Dramatic
just
lighting came up behind them there. Well, it came up behind Amelia, and then
Yeah.
the backlight of it just hit Silas.
Yes, exactly. And the attendant just goes, "Oh my lord, we've got heroes on this train."
What's that supposed to mean?
He just nothing. It's okay. Just if anyone's gonna get this mess solved before the Gisnep people can respond, it'd be you guys. That's all. Just isn't it? He's got both hands up like, please don't punch me.
He doesn't punch him. She just like smirks and just like waves her hand like you know it.
All right.
Cyan is like continue to like look back and forth at the runes. It's just like, are there any more runes on any other part of the train, or is it just on the engine?
So the conductor. Actually, now I need to double check my notes. Did I have that? Yes. So he mentions that the main like he does explain to you guys that they have a cleric on board who cleric's cast. I'll have to double check. It's okay. But basically they have someone on board who was able to detect magic and confirm like, yep, the engine's just got these things. It's got like several on it just to make sure. But there was one in the kitchens, and another one in the economy lounge car. There we go. I have to I can't talk and read my notes at the same time, so this is what I'm trying to do. So the but yeah, so primarily there is the engine, and then there's one in the kitchen, and then one in the economy lounge area. But like, they all are, again, they're all of the same like rune. So.
Oh, well, beans. Then we can't just connect. Darn it! Darn it! Heck! I was just like huffs and just like moves away from the control panel.
The conductor kind of has the. I would hope that you wouldn't suggest doing that right now while there's still passengers here. Without alerting them at all. Like.
She's kind of indignant about it. She's like, well, if it was just the engine, then you just disconnect the front car, and then that goes, and then maybe you could get somebody to push the engine off the tracks, and then it could explode over there, and then everybody is safe, and then you have a whole car of people to interrogate right there, and then the problem solved. But apparently you can't do that today.
I am living for this. I love it so much.
I mean, it's smart.
It is very smart, and the conductor is looking at you like, that's actually a really good idea if that were the case, huh?
Can we just stick everyone in the last car and then detach everything else up front? Or is the lounge at the back?
Well, you could do that, but see, here's the other problem. Once once that happens, the train still would explode, and I mean that if we did it out here, there wouldn't be any damage except to the tracks and to the engine itself, and then you'd have to get a crew all out here to repair the tracks and take the engine, and then the engine would have. Then you'd have to rebuild the engine, and then that would be my career on the line, and I just... the conductor is starting to have a meltdown.
Amelia's just standing there like, I thought you were gonna say something like, if we evacuated everyone to the back of the train, the person in question might be among them, not that you were worried about your career.
He kind of has
they're
like,
somewhere on the train anyway.
There's that like moment of pause, and then he just goes, "Oh yeah, that too, that too, yeah."
I mean, they're on the train anyway, so it doesn't really matter where they are. But we're not gonna do that because we don't want to. Because I don't want you to lose your job, and I don't want you to get in trouble. And we're gonna fix this for you. Yes.
Wait. How do you know? Wait, remind me again. How do you know that the person's on the train? Like, why isn't this able?
Oh, so just to give a quick recap, they explained that the runes must have been put in while they were doing their rounds, like shortly, like yeah.
Okay.
So they so whoever did it was on the train to do that, and then they had to clearly send a message, and they're kind of going on the hope that they're still here just to make sure that, you know, no shenanigans happen, basically, and that this thing like goes off. But also because the conductor also mentions they also they demanded a ransom, and so we are kind of going with the assumption that they will stay until the confirmation that a ransom will be paid has been confirmed. Yeah, and he eventually he fishes in his pocket and pulls out like the most cliche ransom note you've ever seen. Like, it's
Oh my god.
letters clipped from different magazines to make up all of the that kind of. And it's basically just lays out like, yeah, there's a bomb on this train. Like, this train will explode if it goes below like 55 miles an hour. I demand a million gold in ransom. If that is paid before the train reaches happiest place, then the runes will be disabled. If not, well, hope you like rebuilding your train station and your train. So, and then at the very bottom it just says pet Gisnep.
Amelia's just reading this and it's just like, for how good these runes are, this villain seems a bit too bit.
And like Cyan nods and like is in total agreement. It's just like, if the train reaches the station and explodes at the station, the person who made the ransom note will also be dead. I don't feel like they thought this through very well. I feel like they have like an excess of power and not a whole lot of ideas of what to do with it.
Amelia's just nodding and then just crossing her arms and like, okay, if we assume they aren't totally dumb and stupid, which is still a possibility, they might have a way to get off the train before then.
King's just sort of staring like, I didn't think about that. That would kill them. Why would they still be on the train?
The conductor even is kind of having that same like, I didn't think about that. The good news is me, the DM, thought about that, but this is funnier, so.
This is great.
I love it. For someone who's trying to hold a whole train hostage, they're not doing a very good job of it. But the conductor just kind of like helplessly is like, I don't know. We've never had anything happen like this. I'm sorry. And he is like, you get the feeling that they might like, this might be their first ever like crisis. So they've offered all of the help that they can. That's all they got.
Okay. Okay, so there's one here.
Mm-hmm.
Who can get in here?
And the conductor kind of wrings his hands and then starts mentally like listing off like, well, obviously myself and several of the attendants have access. We frequently offer tours to passengers who want to, see the engine, or their tickets are, or like they pay extra for a tour, basically, of like, come see the front of the train. That sounded a lot more diabolical in my head.
It sounded cooler. It sounded cooler than you thought it would.
But he keeps going, just like, some people like that, and so like some passengers would have access to the train, to that. And then he kind of frowns and thinks about it for a second. Did we have any tickets like that? And the attendant that's with you guys shakes his head and just, I haven't had any. I didn't encounter any, but we can ask some of the other attendants if they did? Question mark? Like,
Okay.
He's unsure. Like,
Okay. Do you have a spot where you put all the tickets afterwards? You can check them there, maybe?
That's the thing. The passengers keep those tickets.
Oh.
Because it's your ticket.
Oh.
Like, it's your ticket. It's your boarding pass.
Yeah, but okay.
Do you have anybody who comes on the train often? Like, like frequent flyers who like, they just, training is their hobby. Not like, fighting training, but, like riding training.
Yes. Again, the conductor kind of frowns. Like, we have, we have a couple.
Because they might have seen somebody like suspicious, or it's like, oh, this person looks kind of weird getting on the train.
We have a couple of first class people like that. I think one is currently yeah, I think we have one on. I think we have I think we have one. One woman on board. That is that frequently travels from Dreamworkers to Gisnep. And at that, the attendant kind of, oh, her.
What's wrong with her?
And I can either smash cut
One
to.
of
I'll say I can either smash cut to her for the hilarity.
Please
do it.
All right.
Do it.
So we immediately smash cut to this worn woman who is wearing one of those like poofy like Victorian like cage dresses, and she's got
no.
her hair is as high as it can possibly be, and for those of you who remember, it's the woman who went, they brought an animal in the cart, and she again is just, she stares down her nose at all of you and just says, what are they doing in first class?
Amelia's just looking at her and then looking at the others like she's not saying it, but like she's just like
Okay.
suddenly filled with the urge to throw someone off the train.
Hey,
Understandable.
turn on the charm. Customer service time.
Oh boy.
Hi, ma'am. Hello, ma'am. We were wanting to know, have you seen anything interesting today? It's for a book report.
Well, I mean, aside from you lot who have trailed through and just gotten fur everywhere, and she gives the most disdainful look at Angel, who is just no thoughts, head empty, happy dog.
Oh, baby.
But she gives a very disdainful look at Angel, and then pulls out a fan and starts like fanning herself comically with it. Just, I take these trains at least once a month, so I see everything that goes on in these carts.
Well, are you gonna tell us?
Please,
Like,
ma'am.
Well, And she pointedly like turns away from Amelia and focuses to King and Cyan.
I mean,
I-
Amelia doesn't mind being the bad cop in this situation if it's what they need.
And
I'm like,
oh, go ahead.
oh no. Cyan like looks at her with like the best puppy dog eyes and goes, "You're on trains all the time?"
She just
And just is
oh, go ahead.
on so thick. No, she's just trying to put it on so thick.
The woman just kind of sniffs rather like, you know, self-righteously, just, yes, of course, I have to travel frequently to see, I travel frequently to my summer home and my weekend home and my winter cottage. And
Wow. That's very impressive, ma'am.
Somewhere in Gisnep, Marcel feels the sudden urge to murder.
So this woman, but she just kind of, yes, I travel quite frequently on this rail. It is the most reliable rail, especially because they usually keep everything running smoothly. And she's still like, like, clearly her idea of everything going wrong is y'all's presence here. Like, but she kind of seems to remember. She goes, yes, but book report. What is it that you are researching?
Interesting people going back and forth on trains. There's a lot of research on it. We're just
Yeah,
trying to get ahead of it.
Yeah, demographics of people on trains and like, the different types of people that come on trains. That type of stuff.
Oh, well, if that's the case, you might have better luck in the economy class cars. There are plenty of interesting characters there. Why, I
We'll
mean,
check them next, I promise, ma'am, but this is gonna be the coolest place. This is the. I mean, you're here.
and she just kind of fans herself and, like, looks very, very important at that. Just, she's preening a little bit. Um,
Amelia has to turn her back on them for a second, so she's too busy like gagging.
Yeah, King's probably gonna eat some soap later, but right now it's important.
This is great. This is great.
How's Silas and Riona doing?
Oh my god. So Silas is well, actually, let me just see how well Silas is doing. Let's see here. That's Riona. Here's Silas. That is oh wow, you actually have pretty good. I forget your charisma's maxed out. Okay, so Silas is keeping a straight face. He is just kind of standing there, arms crossed, like clearly like kind of in front of Riona, giving the impression of a bodyguard. So he is like he's not like trying to be imposing to this lady. He clearly like he's read the situation and he's more just kind of like stepping back into I am just a bodyguard and you don't see me. I am invisible. I hate this. Riona is not as good as deception. Dice parser. That's a 19. That's a dirty 21. So Riona is also just like she's got her customer service just like happy smile nodding along. She hasn't said anything, but she's just patiently like nodding along with everything and just yeah. So, oh, go ahead. Oh, sorry. I thought someone was about to say something. So, oh, the woman. I gotta get where'd my brain go? Go to economy. Oh, there are plenty of characters back in economy. Why, I mean, there was. Why, I mean, one of, Why, I mean, my good friend who used to ride first class with me, he had to get an economy car this time. And, I mean, can you believe it? His family's gotten on such like, she's entering gossip mode now. Just, his family's fallen on such hard times, he can't even get a first class ticket now. Oh, oh.
So sad.
I'm okay. All right. I'm like in character. Amelia has not like reacted any differently. Out of character, Hex, you're too good at this. I'm breaking out in hives.
Yeah.
I am too, okay? Like, I am hating every second of this. Like, it's taking all of my, like, restraint to just go, peasants.
Hex, trust me, you're nailing this. I've actually met people like this. You're nailing it.
I know, I have too. I hate it.
Yeah.
Amelia's just gonna like have a finger food from a passing waiter or something and put it in her mouth.
Okay. The waiter just raises an eyebrow but doesn't say anything. But the woman, she's continuing just to kind of like, she clearly has forgotten the question and is now just gossiping about like, oh, so and so had to sell their weekend cottage by the sea and now has to have a weekend mountain home, and this other like acquaintance of hers who's not on the train just recently married a wonderful gentleman who owns a bank, and just she is going on and it is just
Amelia's piping up like eventually like in the middle of this, Amelia's just okay, it's clear that she doesn't know anything, eh?
Cyan nods and goes, I think she isn't very perceptive about the type of people who walk on this train. Maybe we should ask somebody else for a book report who would know more.
Yeah, let's not waste any more time here. She just rolls her eyes.
I bet there are people who know this train way better than she does.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
All that talk about being here.
Ooh.
oh, well, I never. Oh, I will have you know that nothing escapes my keen eyesight. Why, I even saw my dear friend get. Why, I even caught up with my dear friend, bless his soul, even if he had to be in the economy car. And I will have you know that he was speaking with a very brutish looking bull while he was back there. You might want to go talk to him then.
Maybe we
What's your
will.
friend?
My acquaintance is Flip.
Mhm.
He is the frog. You cannot miss him.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Thank-
Frog.
And she
Frog
is
came up here and you talk. Okay. Thank you, ma'am. That's going to be very helpful for our book report. We'll be sure and reference and give you credit, ma'am.
Be sure to credit me as Madame Morbucks then, darling.
Madam
Madam
Morbucks.
Morbid.
Yes, ma'am.
Fucking Madam Morb. Hex, I recognize her. You motherfucking.
Okay.
Alright.
With that, I think we're gonna just like carefully disengage and go because
Yep. Yep.
Wait, can I roll something real quick?
Yes.
Please?
Yes.
Please be good. Please be good.
That is a
Okay.
dirty 21.
Nice.
He's stealing whatever it was that Madame Morbucks just like what was on Madame Morbucks' table. Like I imagine it was a turkey or something,
Oh
and
my
she
God.
just stole the drumstick on her way out of the car.
Nah, it's duck à l'orange.
Oh my god,
nice.
that was the whole thing.
Yeah, she just takes the whole thing. So
Nice.
the minute you guys are in the kitchens, Riona just almost doubles over like, that was physically painful. Oh my god.
And King is just got her tongue out and is just scraping her paws over it like, does anybody know prestidigitation? I need to get the taste of that out of my mouth. Ah!
I know
You
it's
did
on a
that to
turkey and
yourself.
could
You could have
replace it.
skipped over all of it if you just like told her she didn't know anything from the start. And Amelia's just like chewing on like the thing she stole from her.
And Riona is, well, yes, but she equally could have just sent us away. I've dealt with royalty and self-important types before. Like, they
Yes,
just
sister, so did I.
do what? I'm sorry, say that again.
Yes, sister, so did I.
Yeah, they're just as likely to send us away if you offend them too quickly.
You gotta play nice and then they do stuff for you, but you gotta play really nice because otherwise they get grumpy.
And Silas just, yeah, unfortunately. I thought we would avoid all of that kind of nonsense, but, well, it's
Cyan
fine.
just gets a full body shake and just like, "Ugh." No, thank you.
Even Angel is just kind of like pawing at her nose, like just like a foul scent, like. Alright. So y'all move back into the economy class cars, and in the interest of time, in the lounge area, excuse me, you find the big brutish bull that was mentioned. He is sitting and reading a book. Excuse me, sorry. Had a burp. Anyway.
Cyan
Excuse me,
walks
sorry.
up to him and goes, "Hey, what are you reading?"
I picked the wrong time to take a bite of food.
Oh, you're
Oh, no.
Oops.
The bull glances up from his book and not angrily, but just in a I'm being talked to. But the bull glances up from his book and looks over it and then down at Cyan. Because I assume Cyan is very small.
Yeah, she is like Cocker Spaniel sized.
Oh, yes, good. But he kind of like thinks for a minute, like he's trying to, and then eventually he just says, "It's the application of divination into this is me trying to sound smart. The application of divination into astronomy." Which sounds like nonsense, but whatever.
Can I roll to see if I've read this book?
Yes.
Because I have grown up in a library.
Yes.
I
Please.
don't know. Should I just roll a straight d20? Should I roll like I don't?
Roll an intelligence check.
Ooh, okay.
Oh, shut up, phone.
I think yeah, it's +2.
A 14.
14.
You know what? Yeah, I'll say you actually have.
Here we go. Oh, that's a pretty good read. It gets dry at points. They start talking about how the constellations end up interfering with the use of bones under certain seasons. And I think that's a bit of a stretch. But it has some other good points.
The bull immediately snaps the book shut and is just like leaning forward like, "You've read this? Do you
Yeah, I've read a lot.
Oh no, go ahead.
Sorry. Okay, but tell me, what did you think about when it started referencing the phases of the moon and planetary alignments in conjunction with your seeing cauldrons?
I have a whole lot of experience with seeing cauldrons, so I think it's an interesting theory, but I think it'd be really hard to put into practice,
I mean, yes, absolutely. You have to track. You actually have to then get into tracking the actual planets and their alignments, and then you have to make sure that you're just. Oh, it is such a hassle, but supposedly the payoff is just phenomenal. And Silas, if were he a toon, would have blue screened at this point. And Riona is just staring dumbfounded, like.
The meme music? The specific kind of meme music?
No thoughts, head empty, and this genius.
Freaking Always Sunny starts playing.
Yeah, Amelia's just gonna finish off the rest of like the duck that she stole from Madame Marbuck's.
Mm-hmm.
And she's just gonna like not listen, tune it out.
Silas is trying very hard, but there might be important information, but his poor 8 intelligence is suffering.
Yeah. Listen, Amelia's here for one thing, and that's for the brute force if they need it. Like she's letting the others do the rest of the investigating.
This is great. Oh my god. Alright. But you have effectively, like, charmed this bull, so...
It like Cyan opens her mouth to like continue on this line of topic,
Mm-hmm.
and you can see it's physically paining her to restrain herself against like going on, and she's like,
It's a really good book, but I was wondering if I could ask you a few questions about your time on the train. I'd really love to catch up with like the book later. I think this would be a really interesting conversation. There's a few other books I'd like to recommend, but for right now, I have questions about the train.
Oh, well, shoot, little lady. What do you need to ask? He kind of sits back in his chair and crosses his legs.
She looks over to King because she led the charge last time, and it's like really she's kind of impressed with like how well she was able to like, schmooze her way with the
Yeah.
with the fancy lady. So she's looking over, it's just like,
you mentioned last time like a few questions that you had. Do you have anything that you think you want to ask or would be important to ask?
Um, okay, yeah, yeah. Hello, sir. Have you seen anything interesting on this train today? Maybe a frog fellow?
So initially, when you ask about interesting, he kind of like frowns and shakes his head. But then when you mention the frog, he perks up and he goes, "Ah, yes, Flip. We had a very, very engaging conversation about." Excuse me, sorry. We had a very, very engaging conversation about the application of teleportation spells on moving objects. It was rather fascinating. Gentleman is very well read.
Oh, Amelia perks up at that. Oh? Moving objects like a train, maybe?
Well, or a ship, or, well, any kind of moving object, really. Just being able to teleport, the possibility of teleporting, teleporting from one stationary location, or even a location in motion to another that is also constantly moving, and having to account for the various having to account for things like speed and uh trajectory, and if you get far enough, possibly even the rotation of the earth. It was all very like, after a certain point it gets a little fuzzy, but initial applications were it was a very promising conversation, one I want to look into later.
Huh. Was there anybody else that you had this conversation with, or was it just with this frog gent?
And the bull kind of ponders and just, no, it was just with him. We were both reading in the lounge car, and I happened to have read his book, and we got to talking. Very nice fellow. Bit disgruntled to being back here in economy. Seemed rather surprised that a commoner was as well read as I am, but, well, I guess that's what happens when you are high class and suddenly not.
He just laughs at it like this is a breath of fresh air after the last lady.
You're our favorite now.
She like tilts her head and is just like, I also was kind of wondering, I study some magic, and I don't know a whole lot about runes, but I was wondering if you might have any good book recommendations on them.
Oh, well, of course. And he starts to like, I'm not gonna because I can't, but he starts to rattle
Yeah.
off several titles for you.
And she nods and she's like, what do you think like were like the best like main points for like some of those? Like what, like I don't know a lot about rune like application or like how they work or like, what it takes to use them. Like, do you? I don't know. I think this is really interesting. I just seem like you know a lot about it.
He kind of chuckles and is just, well, I really only know theory. Runes aren't my expertise. They're usually typically something that you can transcribe, and then anybody can use them, and you can buy them at the store if you want, if you're looking for specific ones. But
So
oh, go ahead.
oh no, she's kind of just like nodding, like contemplative. He's like, so it doesn't take a whole lot of skill to be able to use runes. It's just, the creation of them is hard.
Yes.
But the application of them is easy.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly, little lady. It takes a lot of skills to actually like write them. He's kind of trying to like find a metaphor that would that would work, but unfortunately the only metaphor I have is one that doesn't apply because computers don't exist yet.
I mean, you could tell it to us like out of character and just pretend that he
Yeah.
said something using a different terminology in character.
Yeah, yeah. So basically it's basically design, like programming a program and then giving that to someone else so that they can execute it is basically the like. And I don't know how, I'm like, I don't know, my brain is too 21st century for this. But
Anybody can wear a sweater, but somebody's got to be the one to make it.
hey, yeah.
Yeah. There you go.
Oh, Mock, that's actually a good one. That's a good one. He likens it to building the engine of a car, but then like someone else is the one that drives it and they're the ones in control of it, but like they don't know how, like they don't know anything that went into building the engine, and if the engine went bad, well, I don't know. But so yeah, that's a good one. I like that. So yeah, he likens it to driving a car versus building one.
Well, thank you, sir. That's actually really helpful.
That is. And like at this point, her like tail is like wagging a little bit. She's kind of excited about something.
Oh, all right. So the bull just nods and just happy to help you, I guess. If you want to continue our conversation a little later, well, I'll probably be here most of this trip. So,
Yeah. Cyan reaches into her hammer space and pulls out a business card, and it has the name of her library on it, and she hands it to him, and she's like, I think you'd enjoy coming to see my home at some point. We have a lot of different books. You might have a good time there if you spend a lot of time in. God, I can't pronounce the place that we're going to.
Happiest place?
yeah, happiest place.
I'm gonna say it's in Toontown, but I meant like the big.
Gisnep?
I can see it in my Gisnep. Thank you.
Yeah.
In Gisnep. Sorry.
The bull takes the card, and then like just flips it to both sides to have a look, and then just kind of smiles and goes, "Yeah, I think I will. Thank you, little lady. Name's Matthew, by the way."
Great to meet you.
Thank you, Matthew. You're really helpful.
Oh, glad to be of service. And he just kind of nods, and then once y'all start kind of like moving off is when he finally returns to his book, but he's polite enough to like not immediately go back to reading.
Okay. So that means that maybe it wasn't someone on here who made these. They probably bought them from somebody. But we still have to figure out who put them here, and that could be somebody here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Let's go find Mr. Flip. Maybe he'll know something.
Alrighty. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, Cyan like is just kind of thoughtfully like, maybe the person who did this just isn't like super smart in general. Maybe like maybe they think that this is like a really good idea, and that they've like put together some great master plan. Maybe like if we're like kind of loud about, the questions that we ask, maybe somebody will like be dumb enough to show up and be like, oh hey, maybe you should be asking these sort of questions, and then we need to have like a better lead. I'm gonna talk to the frog.
That's pretty. Like Amelia's just like, that's pretty. I can word.
Words are hard.
Words
That'd
are
be
hard.
nice.
Yeah.
We don't know if they're, if there's some kind of master plan. For all you know, they could just be dumb and just want money and just not care about the people they're gonna kill.
Kind of hoping that they're not so dumb that they blow up the train while they're on it. Like, when they're in the middle of it, they think like down the road, like, oh yeah, it's gonna be great. I'll threaten the people with the train. And then like, right before they press the trigger, they're like, oh shit, I'm on the train.
Well, well, we gotta ask the frog, right?
Yeah, I'm kind of thinking that like we're just loud while we talk to the frog.
It's a thought. It's not a bad thought. If this guy doesn't turn up any leads, then it'll hopefully give us something else to go from.
Yeah.
And with Amelia's disdain, let's take a quick break because I have to refill my water, and
Same.
Yeah. So quick break,
Okay.
quick break, y'all.
You all have been drinking water?
Sam, go get water.
Hydrate!
Hydrate.
Oh my god. Okay, all right, be right back.
Yeah, also, I'm so sorry for Amelia, by the way.
Amelia's
Like-
great.
She's an asshole. I'm so sorry. Like, she's not as bad as she could be, but she's still super bad.
Amelia is great. We love her.
I'll be honest, Steve. She almost was like, you know what? Rules be damned, mass panic be damned. I'm gonna murder this woman right here, right now, at Madame Marbuck's.
Oh my god. Well, thank you
she
for not
wouldn't have-
doing that.
No, she wouldn't have murdered her, but like she was so close to like pulling an intimidation role.
That we can work with. That we can work with.
Jeez, she's well, she is lawful evil, but she is lawful evil. She's not gonna kill innocents for no reason.
We'll take it. Oh,
Okay.
just
Anyway, I'm
be
off
back
to
in a
get water because before I
drink water, you. I can't even remember what all Jazz posts anymore.
slut, drink water, you slut.
Okay. 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 Alrighty, I am back and I have more water. Excuse me.
Hi, Hacks, having fun?
Yes, I am having so much fun.
Oh, yeah.
Hi, Lewis, I love you. I'm glad. I've been having a minor panic about it, so I'm glad it's good.
Oh no. This is a delight, Hex.
Yay! It's not like because, oh god, what if it's bad? It's just because, like, there was
Stress.
some important things that I hit on in this game that are part of a larger story, so. Ugh. But but I am glad y'all are having fun because I had a delight just like, oh yeah, this is gonna be good.
Mm. Just like I missed all of Protect the Town and I've still not listened to the second half of Escort Mission, so like I don't know what the lore is, but
It's
I'm
okay.
digging into it.
It is okay.
But that's only because Hex accidentally DM'd
I
to me that one
did.
time.
I did. I was talking with so Kraken very, very accurately put this entire all of the games and FPSs I've been running as whatever the hell Hex and Ollie are doing, which is very accurate. But I was DMing Ollie ideas, and then whoops, I sent it to Vamp, and it was like very vital and important lore.
Yeah, like Hex deleted it like seconds after, but I read extremely fast.
Yes.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Just I saw that. I read that. No, it's okay. I swear.
And I was like, Hex,
Oh,
sweetie, I've been in the server since you've joined. I've followed all the art you've done. Hex, sweetie, would you like to explain?
And then I did, and then
oh,
Vamp
that's
wanted off the ride. Yeah.
No.
And then when I played when I played Amelia for the first time and then was talking to Hex about it, I held Hex at gunpoint for reasons I can't say right now.
Oh my god.
Oh no.
Yeah. 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 Oh my
I mean,
God.
I
I
hope,
will
like,
say,
I'm sorry, by the way. She's being an asshole, and like I know that's in character, but please know that out of character, I'm living for this. I love y'all so much. No matter what
Yeah.
say.
like a few things, like Vamps. I love Amelia. Like you said that she's lawful evil, which is my favorite alignment. Um,
She's
and
law.
then like
I will say she is lawful evil.
Which
I
explains several things.
I love her so much. And then also, Hex, this game is gorgeous. I love it. Like,
Yay.
you were doing an amazing job. I
I'm
had
so
already
glad.
left to go get water. So I was like, oh no, I have to say something when I get back.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Honestly, with how you're currently running this game, like Hex, I might like hit your DMs up after this and ask for if you ask for like scheming ideas for a game that I might be DMing soon. Cause holy shit, you're good at this.
Okay. Okay.
Nice.
I will give you the unhelpful answer I always give, which is the secret is to bullshit, because that's all I
It
got.
should be like that.
See, that's what I usually like would do. Like I say usually as if I hadn't only DM'd one game before this. But the thing is I know my players. I know my players. I know Obby specifically. I know Obby very, very well.
Yeah. But, all right. Are we all back?
I think one of us is still went off to do something.
Okay. That's all good. But just.
Catch me knowing zero Toonkind lore right now, going like, well, I'm playing a game and I'm having fun.
That's all. Honestly, that's all I can hope for. Like, I try to like structure a lot of these so that you don't need to know any of my previous things to like get involved, and I just throw bits in for people who do know so they can be like, huh. But I try
Give
to
you the eyes emoji.
yeah, I try to keep them as accessible as possible with just like small things stringing them together.
I mean,
It
it's
works
working.
really well.
Yay! Yeah. All right. Is everybody back? Yeah, I think everybody's back.
I
Yeah.
think so, yeah.
Yeah. All right. Okay. Let me just. Yep, that's still good. All right. Okay. Alrighty. So, y'all are making your way.
In your way downtown, walking.
You're walking very fast because the train can't slow down. Yeah. Damn it. So y'all are making your way back further back into the train. There we go. And you pass the excuse me. You pass the gaggle of chickens again. They're all still in they're all just kind of like not still, they're all in their cabin cars. They take up 2 cars just because there's so many of
Oh
them.
my god.
There are so many of these chickens. There are so
a lot
many.
of birds. Look at all them chickens.
They all look very excited though. So, you know, at least they're having a good time. But you pass that horde of chickens, and eventually you do come to another cabin that's kind of quieter, but you do hear the sounds of movement from one of the cabins. Like, the door is closed, but you hear movement inside of it. Everywhere else is pretty quiet right now, though.
Okay. And King's gonna knock on the door.
All right. So, the minute you knock, you hear the sudden, like, scramble of papers and just, and then, you hear something metallic crash, and you hear a cat screech, and then, like, another, like, more crashing noises. It's bad. Eventually, the door opens a fraction, and a very, it opens just a crack, and a frog peeks in, or peeks out, and just, "Can I help you? What is it?"
We wanted to ask you if you'd seen anything interesting on the train today. And King's gonna be a little rude here, and she's gonna try and squeeze through the door.
Cyan sees her trying this and like attempts to help, like
Oh my god.
is like squeezing in like near her legs as well, trying to like shut the door.
Roll me a strength check then, really quick.
Can
Okay.
Amelia help?
Yes.
Can she have advantage, or do we
Yes.
all need to roll?
So
advantage.
just King roll with advantage.
Okay.
No.
Wait, I'm waiting for everyone else to roll so that.
Okay. Roll again.
I did.
Oh, I see. Okay. So, yeah. So he rolled a 2. so-
He's a frog.
He's a frog. Yeah, pretty much. So
I feel like Amelia just shoved her foot into the cap and then slammed the door open.
it doesn't. I mean, that also works. Either way, the minute, like the minute he realizes what y'all are doing, he tries to shut the door, and nope, you just kind of fling it open, and he staggers back, and there are like papers haphazardly scattered everywhere throughout this cabin, and he is just, "Oh, good heavens, what on earth are you doing? I have half a mind to call the attendants here. Just,
Wow, you've got a real mess here, sir. Here, let's help you clean up a little."
no,
And she's gonna start picking up.
no,
Cyan like reached out a hand, like, no, don't do that.
no, and he starts immediately trying to grab the papers back from you, like,
Can Amelia trip him?
I just want to see what they are.
yes, Amelia can trip him.
while he's on. Can Amelia trip him as he tries and goes and get the papers from King?
Roll, no, he's got to make a dex check then, so let me just, Amelia can try.
What do I roll against that? Would I be able to argue stealth just because she's trying to sneakily trip him?
Yes. I would say strength, but nope. So you try, but he like he literally bounces over your foot and is like scrambling to grab these papers back, and so you catch sight of some of these papers, and they all just kind of look like rumpled receipts and like heckin' transaction papers and like a couple of different magical theory things, like how Matthew had mentioned that they were having a animated discussion about teleportation of cross moving objects. There's a lot of like magical theory stuff written down there. Let's see here for a quick funsies. Yeah, okay, yeah. And also amidst all of that, you see a very familiar style looking note where all of the letters are cut out from different pieces of literature.
Oh.
King snag that particular one and then just hold it over her head to read it. Like
Roll
way
yes. How tall is King?
like a Larry tall.
Okay. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
very
all
small.
right. Because you've already grabbed the paper, so let me actually just have him make a dex check to see if he can grab anything. He's trying to desperately like grab at it, and he's actually like starting to act like he is starting to climb you. He wants that paper, and he's just give that back. Do you not have any respect for personal property?
Just a minute, sir, just a minute. I'll give it right back. And
Silas is
does
just
it
gonna
say?
pick him up off of you. Just grabs him by the scruff, and yeah, it's another copy of that ransom note that the conductor showed you.
Did you make this? Kind of interesting.
He sputters and just I don't know what you're talking about. I've never seen that before in my life.
It's in your compartment.
And
Kind of suspicious that you'd miss something like this when you're so meticulous about your stuff.
Wow.
I love it. Oh my god, I love it. He sputters indignantly, just, well, I never. And, just you would think that people would have a little more courtesy around here. Instead of rifling through a
Sorry,
man's
sir,
things.
but-
I've never seen that before in my life. It probably came from a previous passenger.
You mean like the one who left another one up at the conductor with a bomb?
What are you talking about? Wait, hang on. Hang on. I realized I was like, wait, hang on. I gotta do a thing. Blah 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 blah. You don't have any. What is this garbage, man? Why'd I pick this one? That's fine. All right. He sounds pretty convincing when he says he has no idea what you are talking about, but also
Can
he's
we all roll insight on this man?
yes, please.
Yeah, I would love to know insight.
Oh
please.
no.
Presumably with advantage, because come on, this
Yes.
is pretty damning.
It is very
Yeah.
damning, yes. And actually, I'm gonna have him roll at disadvantage. Thinking about it. Ha! All right, there we go. That's better.
Hey!
Oh, Amelia, come on.
It's okay, advantage.
Yeah.
20
Yeah,
total.
yeah. Yep. All right. All of you see this this frog is just full of shit. He is absolutely just.
Wow, I wonder what the the punishment for the crime is of holding a whole train for ransom. Must be kind of hard in prison where you get no bucks.
You could
You get
just
money
like,
in prison either.
Amelia's just crossing her arms and looking at him like, I could just take my sword off.
You could. Hmm.
She's beginning to reach behind her back menacingly.
Yeah, all right. So yeah, everybody make a dexterity save.
Oh,
Wait, does Amelia see this coming? Because she has danger sense.
Yes. Okay. So, oh, and I'm sorry. It's not Dex. It's Con. That's my complete and utter mistake. I am so sorry.
Sorry.
Oh,
No, it's all good. But
Better for me.
Amelia does in fact see it coming, and I will let you have advantage on that then, Amelia. Yeah, all right. That is still not high enough. All right. Alrighty. Oh wait, I need to do Silas and Riona. Oh no, I need to make Riona make a con save.
Yeah.
Oh no. You get to see Riona's weakest stat. Oh no.
Oh, no.
My baby! Oh no.
-2. Oh my god.
-3. Riona has a con of 5.
Yeah, that's a nat one.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Silas doesn't do much better either. Oh, Silas, sweetie.
Oh, I don't like this.
All right. Okay. Where the heck is my thing? So, y'all take, how much is that? That is, this and a, oh no, it's just a flat number. Okay, cool. Well, I like that. So y'all take 11 thunder damage as this dude immediately,
20 not high enough?
oh, I'm sorry. Everybody who rolled below a 15, my bad. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I was just rattling off
like,
this.
Jesus.
No, I'm so sorry, Dawn and I'm sorry, King and Cyan both save. I'm so sorry. I was too.
Okay, I was just so concerned. I was like, what have we gotten ourselves into?
Just, oh God, oh no, no. King and Cyan saved. So, you take, hang on, I'm actually reading just to double check if it's half or none. You don't. So you don't actually take any damage. What'd you say? I'm sorry, Vamp.
Is this Thunderwave by any chance?
No, it is not. Because I need to do one other thing. Ha! All right. So, who was closest to the door exiting the car?
I mean, probably like Riona or something? Because, like,
Oh,
King's holding
yeah.
the guy.
Yeah. All right. Okay.
Silas is holding the guy.
All right. So, one moment, y'all were standing and ready to interrogate a frog. The next minute, Riona is in his place, and he is now bolting through the train. And Riona does not look too good.
How far away is he right now?
He is about 10 feet away from you right now. Like, he
I'm
just
casting-
did that.
I'm casting Hold Person.
Oh, fantastic.
Oh god. The target must succeed on a Wisdom saving throw, or be paralyzed for 1 minute. My spell save DC is 13.
I feel like
Is-
this man does not have good wisdom.
15 or 13?
13.
13.
Oh, that's
Christ.
20.
That is a nat 20, and he has a negative 1
Christ.
in wisdom, so yes, he's not very...
And how far away is he again?
He is about 10 feet away right now, because he just cast that, and so he is, like, he has started his movement, and he is, like, actively now, like, running. He's
Can
not
Amelia
dashing, he's just
do-
running.
Can Amelia do something?
Yes, please.
Can Amelia cast Color Spray?
Yes?
Does she you can tune?
Yes!
So she's actually going to advance so that it doesn't hit any of the others, and then she's going
Aw.
to no, this isn't her not wanting to blind the others. This is her being pragmatic. It only affects a certain HP pool.
Oh, okay. I need to actually read the
And,
HP pool.
Yeah, I have to blah blah blah.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right. So that does not actually hit his total HP pool.
Dang.
So valiant effort, but now he is a colorful frog running away. And everyone can roll me some initiative.
Christ.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here,
I don't
Amelia
understand.
small, and she's just like, damn it, I should have did Tasha.
Tasha is a very good spell. I do love me some Tashas.
Oh, that's
Okay.
that.
Holy
Oh,
crap! Nice. All right.
that's my nat 20. I would have preferred it last time, but here we go.
Yeah.
Better late than never.
Eh.
Better late than never.
And last but not least, poor Riona. How you doing? Yeah, all right. She's
How
doing
is
okay.
Riona, by the way?
Actually.
Riona's not doing so well. That took out half her hit points. So she's
Because her and Silas got hit, right? Is
Yep.
anybody else get hit?
Amelia, fine.
Amelia has lots of hit points, and so does Silas. Silas is doing fine.
Okay, they're doing okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Riona's the only one who's hurting, but that's just because she has 5 con.
Poor baby.
Yeah.
Beyond squishy.
She is the squishiest thing on the planet. All right. Oh, and I need to roll for this guy who has no. Well, no, he has 2. Okay. That is not where you type that. That's where you type that. Okay, so he got a 12. Riona goes before him.
Yeah. There we go.
Cool. All right. So let me pin that just so we can do this. All right, Cyan. You have a frog running away from you after he just tried to hurt y'all.
Yeah, I do. This is the first time I've played a cleric, and so I'm like looking at, 'cause it's like, don't you do this to me, computer. Because I want to cast Cure Wounds on Riona, but I want to make sure my spellcasting ability modifier is that the same as my attack bonus. I don't.
It's the same as your attack bonus
Yeah.
for your spell attacks, yes.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, so
So-
it's the same.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I'm going to do.
All right.
Yeah. So this is Dice Parser 1. Oops, my kitchen. I have to move things off of my kitchen.
Oh, no.
Text. I was like, I'm going to sit here while the pot boils, and then I forgot about it. Okay, so D8 plus 5.
Nice. Nice. All right.
Nice. So she gets 9 hit points back.
Nice. Excellent. So she does not look as bad as she did. She looks pretty rattled at all of that, but she gives you a very grateful look.
Yeah.
You gonna then
She is
chase?
better.
Yep. You still have your movement.
Yeah, I'm
if
gonna
you want
chase.
to- Okay.
Let me see. Do I have anything? I want to check to see if I have any bonus action spells
Yeah.
that I can do.
Yeah.
Let's see. That's an action. All of my cantrips are actions. Oh, healing word is not a bonus action. Don't give me. Okay, but will not be. Yeah, I don't have anything else.
Okay.
That's it. That's all I got.
Alrighty. Okay. So next up, Amelia.
How far away is the frog?
Right now he is running. He is not dashing because he used an attack, and he can run. So 30 feet. So, but he has to stop for the car. So he's like in the next car, basically.
Amelia's speed, like base speed, is 40 feet. Would she make it
Oh,
to
she
him?
can catch up to him. Yes.
Yeah, so she's gonna bolt. Because here's the fun thing about Amelia. If she is not wearing armor, her speed increases, and she is not currently wearing
Oh
armor.
my god.
So yeah, she's gonna bolt, and while she's running, she's gonna rage.
All right. Yeah. All right.
Nice.
All right. Oh boy. Here we go.
Does she make it to him?
Yes. Yes, she does. His speed is 30 feet. So yes.
Okay. her weapon.
Uh-huh.
She's gonna attack.
Please
Let me
do.
I'm so sorry, but also I know you expected this.
I did.
And she also has reckless attack, which means she gets advantage.
But that also means that any attacks against her also have advantage. So.
Mm-hmm. So let's see. That would be
That does
Thank
not
God
hit.
for the advantage.
Holy crap!
She's pissed off.
That's a nat 20. That's a
Holy
nat.
shit, the game is over.
I forgot to do something, by the way. She's a wild magic barbarian.
Uh-huh.
So
Oh.
that means when she rages, that's 2 on the wild magic scale.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, you teleport up to 20 feet to an unoccupied space you can see.
You can teleport in front of him. Oh no.
Yeah, you teleported right in front of him.
Oh my gosh. All right.
And she's gonna attack.
Roll your damage for the first one.
Yep, he's dead.
Wait,
Me
I
makes
gotta look up her features because I don't often play barbarians.
Yeah.
Blah, blah,
Me.
blah,
I'm
blah.
gonna make this a CR6 because my people keep dying. Vamp.
That's 20. Well, no, we only multiply the dice, right? So that's 16 plus 4. That's 20 damage for the first one.
Alright.
And the
Okay.
second one, that's another
Oh
nat
my
20.
god! What is
no, frog That's that makes 16 damage for the second attack.
Oh my god!
Oh my god, the walnut gallery.
Oh my god! Oh my god! All right, okay, yeah. That hurt him a whole lot. Let me just Okay, well, yeah, that hurt
Go
him
ahead
a
and
whole
pretend
bunch.
he's a higher level than he actually is. We won't tell.
Listen, I put a level 10 artificer against a group of level 3 players, and they brought that man down to -30. I don't put anything past Dice Parser at this point. Like,
Yeah, I feel like that monster has a vendetta against you personally, Hex.
my villains are not allowed to last for more than 3 rounds. Anyway, that's not the point. The point is, it is Riona's turn, and
Wait, hold on. I'm gonna make it easier for you to calculate all the damage and just compile.
okay. So, it's Riona's turn now. And she's gonna actually she's gonna delay because she needs her weapons. She doesn't have any weapons. Wait, what spells does she have as a druid? What does she have prepared? Oh. Okay. Hang on. Let me Is it just her that does this? Yes, it is just her. That's still okay. So she's gonna cast Hunter's Mark on this guy.
Nice.
So now she gets she gets to hurt him more. But then she needs her weapon, so she can't do much else. Which
We will
moves
have them soon.
which moves on to the frog. He is very much in pain at what you did to him. We're not gonna do that in a train car.
You can try to run past her.
Yeah, no.
That would give her opportunity attack.
No.
You can hurt yourself more if you
Yeah,
want.
you can hurt yourself more. So, excuse me. He is gonna, in fact, cast Scorching Ray on you, Amelia, because you are in front of him and you hurt a lot, so... What is your to hit, dude? Wow, damn, alright. No, I was reading his to hit, so...
Nope.
Nope. I can read, I swear. Please type correctly. No, damn it! Okay, so that, with the +6, that would be a 23.
Yeah, the second one hits. The first
Okay.
one doesn't.
Okay, and
Yeah,
then
and you don't have advantage because reckless attack, like attacks that get advantage against her, are only those that use a strength modifier, just like
Yeah.
her own attack.
okay, cool. And then the final ray, because it's 3 rays.
Mm.
21. Does that
Yeah,
hit?
that
Okay.
hits.
Okay. All right. So now we get to roll some damage.
I am aware of how much damage Scorching Ray deals, and I'm just like, heck, is this a level 7 plus frog?
Uh, I honestly don't know. I kind of went by CR rating, not level.
Because I know, like, to cast Scorching Ray, like, to have 3 beams of that, you're probably like 7 at least.
No, Scorching Ray defaults to 3
No,
beams.
that's
You
Oh,
add,
never
yeah,
mind.
Yeah.
every level above, every spell level above that, you get an extra. So it's the default is 3.
Alright.
That is 21 damage.
Yeah, honestly, she's still not doing that badly. Like,
I was gonna say she's a
hanging on.
barbarian.
Yeah, but probably heal her. Like, she's not doing badly if we compare her against other classes, but if we compare it against her own total hit points, then yeah, she's like bloody.
Yeah.
Mm.
All right. Well, Riona also has healing spells if need be. So,
Yeah,
anyway.
she's at 8 right now.
Yeah. Okay. The good news is that's all he can do right now. And he kind of
Good.
sputters in front of you, just like when he sees you just tank this hit. And
I'm
he's,
the hero. You think you can take me down with something like that?
he is now realizing he might have made a mistake. King, it is your turn.
All right. Well, first off, she's gonna reach into her hammer space
Mhm.
and see if she can't get everyone's stuff.
Heck yeah.
She can't.
Oh no!
Oh no!
What do you pull out of that hammer space fumble?
Oh God! Where even is my thing? Here's my thing. Oh no!
Oh, dice parser, thank
It
you.
comes up with a 20.
Oh my
What's her
God.
20? And uh she pulls out a Dr. Worm plushie.
Yes! Excellent.
Okay, that's not what I was going for. Okay, hang on a second, and I'm gonna see if she can't
Yep.
pull the actual.
You have a 50% chance now. You do not!
That's another fumble.
Oh, big yikes.
Oh my God.
So what's her 5? Oh my God.
Oh.
A beekeeper mask. Okay, I'm gonna call this her last shot at this.
Okay.
Oh wait, that's the wrong dice.
To say that gets it. That does get it.
Okay.
You did it.
Okay, there we go. Okay, I've got the actual stuff now, and she's gonna hand Riona and Silas their weapons,
Yay!
and she's just gonna slam that beekeeper mask on her face and stuff the other one back in her hammer space.
Oh, fantastic.
I'm gonna call that everything she can do, because that's ridiculous.
Oh my God. Incredible. All right. All right. If you wanted to move, close the gap,
Yeah,
that is
she's-
fine. But yeah, I don't.
She is going to zip straight up there as close to them as she can get. Make sure he can't turn around and go the other way.
Fantastic. Silas is it is Silas's turn. What did I give him for? He got that, he got that, he got that, he got that. Let me see. Oh, hey, I forgot I gave him that. Oh my gosh. I forgot I made this man mean. So, Silas is gonna. You have to touch. Okay. Silas has his sword. He's happy. He's gonna run after, or run close the gap on Mr. Frog. And what am I double checking? That's not what I want. I want this. And I can do that. Okay, cool. But is that a... This is the part where I'm always like, is that a reaction or is that just an action? Is a paladin's lay on hands a reaction?
No, I'm pretty sure that's an action.
Lay on hands. 5. I'm pretty sure it is an action. I'm just double checking really. Yep, action. Okay, cool. All right. So that determines what he does. So Silas is gonna close the gap and he is gonna go for a swing on Mr. Froge, which is not great. Mr. Froge is... Oh my sweet Christ. Oh my god, it's happening again. Oh my god.
First of all, Hex, I am so sorry. Second of all,
holy shit. Okay. Alright. This is fine. It's fine. So...
3 nat 20s against this one guy.
Yep, it's shaping up to be Escort Mission Part 2, Electric Boogaloo. So, we're just gonna roll some damage. That is almost max freaking damage. Holy crap.
So that's gonna be 6 plus 4. That's 10 damage.
Yeah, so, Mr. Frog's not looking too great. That's Silas's turn for now. We go back to the top of the order with Cyan.
Cyan's just kind of like looking at the frog like, you dumb idiot. You gotta stop. And she's just like, you might want to give up before you're hurt anymore. And like, to just sort of push the point home, she's just gonna cast Sacred Flame. She is no longer worried about it. He's gotta make
go ahead.
A dex save.
A dex save? Okay. All right. Do you have a proficiency in dex saves, my dude? Yes. Okay. So that's not where you type that. That's not how you type that. My God. That's a 12. Does that make it?
No, it's a 13.
All right. So what happens to Mr. Frog?
Hold on. Let me cast the damage.
All right.
D8 plus 5. Whoops. Not the one. An exclamation point.
Oh my god, that's max
So he's
damage.
taking 13 damage. Can I roll intimidation with advantage?
Yes, please. Please do. This idiot
Do I
frog.
have? I don't. That's just gonna be 2 straight rolls. And then another D20.
You don't need to, you net 20'd! Oh my god!
I just love the image of like this tiny sassy puppy going, you might as well just give up, and just lighting his ass on fire. And he's just like, okay, alright, okay.
That is so you do that. He goes up in flames in the comical Toon fashion, and he is now on the floor, like crispy, and he's just, okay, I give, you win.
Is he just a quick question, is he like at like 0 negative hit points, or does he still
He is
have
at
some
negative
health left?
9. Congratulations.
Okay. Can I do spare the dying on him? Can I walk up? Because I imagine if... Okay, I'm sparing the
Yes.
dying on him. I don't want him to die.
Okay.
So, he's stable.
He would have been fine because Toon logic, but yes, thank you. Fucking incredible. Oh my god. I mean, this works out for the sake of time, but that's just incredible. Oh my lord. Okay, so This frog is just laying there on his back. He's still crispy. But he's just like, I give. Okay. No more. I give. You win. You win.
I will say, Amelia has not put down her sword.
Okay. Riona is going to step up, and she looks a little shaky. Like, she's leaning on Angel. But she kind of mentions, like, I think the fighting's over now. And Silas, while he also has not, like, sheathed his sword, he's still, like, he has, like, he's got it, like, resting, just kind of ready, but he is not, like, actively being threatening at the moment.
Amelia, like, still has her sword on, and it's just like... She, you know, very threatening sword.
Yeah.
Cyan walks up to him and just kind of sits down next to him with still the sort of like, you dumb frog look on her face. Like, you want to tell us what you're doing there, bud? You wanna explain?
I love this sassy dog. He just kind of scoots away from Cyan because Cyan's the one who intimidated him. But then he realizes he's scooting towards Amelia, and
Still holding her sword, my dude.
Yeah.
He still looks down the clown.
Like, yeah, and then he looks at Amelia, who hurt him so much, and he just kind of just, I was just trying to get some of my wealth back.
Blowing up the train you were on?
he looks a little offended, like, I was going to teleport off once I got the confirmation of money.
And what about everyone else on the train?
Like, that's the sound he makes. Just, they would have gotten off fine. The wizards would have gotten them. Probably.
Wizards.
Amelia's
Bob
like,
looking at the clock.
slowly, Amelia's like looking like she wants to stab this man. It looks like he's about to.
Riona very, like, hold on. He's got to disable the runes before you do anything.
Yeah.
And the frog kind of just, why would I do anything like that? And then he looks at Amelia and Cyan again.
Yeah, like she was about to stab me.
Just gestures.
And this frog, very, very wisely decides that might be the best option. Yes, I suppose. He's like poking two fingers together.
Wow, what a good choice. Let's go do that right now.
Yeah.
Right now.
Right now. Silas just, yeah, let's. Come on. And he doesn't wait. He just picks the frog up and starts walking to the front of the train.
Yeah. Amelia's gonna like flank him behind so that actually she's gonna flank him in front in case the frog tries something.
Oh,
so
smart.
like both ways of escape are like, you know, covered.
Oh, smart. Oh, also, Silas is gonna lay on hands, and you get all of that HP you lost back. Amelia.
Yeah.
So,
Blinks at them. It's just like, oh, nice.
yeah. He just...
Doesn't thank you.
Do what?
He doesn't thank you. He
Yeah.
doesn't thank Silas.
But yeah, he gets it. He just, yep, there you go. And so, y'all make your way back to the front of the train. And the conductor looks and just seems kind of surprised. Just, well, what?
Got your guy.
Oh, you got him? You really did?
Yeah, he admitted it and everything. Look, can you just like bring him to the control panel so he gets rid of all those explodey things?
I mean, yes, yes, please, yes. And Silas just, all right, come on, you. And he drops the frog. Just go on. Rests his hand on his sword, waiting. And the frog, very, very reluctantly, walks over, and this is just to see how long it takes him. Plus that, because God, he really is fucking Barrow 2.0. Okay. Yeah. 20 int, 9 whiz. Let's do this. Yeah. All right.
I imagine like, it's probably not helped by the fact that he has like the people who almost murdered him earlier, like still
Yeah.
looming.
Just kind of looming, intimidate, like very threateningly behind him. But yeah, he very like almost like it's almost comical how easy he's able to dispel this rune, and he's just there. Fine, I've dispelled the rune.
Are you gonna
please?
dispel the runes in the other cars too?
You
Fine.
have a complaint? Amelia says that as she slowly raises her sword.
Do what? I'm sorry, I didn't catch what Amelia said.
You have a complaint?
No, not at all. Nope, not at all, not at all. And he's got both hands up, like, no.
This person not 20'd you twice, Mr. Frog.
Yes, she did, and he is not keen to get hit again. Silas is like, just, Silas kind of just, as you guys are leading him back through the carts, again, back the way he came for the second walk of shame, Silas just kind of saddles up to Amelia like, we're the fighting's over now. I know, I get it, but you don't gotta. You can put that away now.
She does not put it away, and she's just like, you know, she, roll insight, Silas.
Oh my god, he doesn't have that, but okay. Oh wait, I lied. He does have that. I'm a liar.
Yeah, surprisingly enough, it's extremely hard to like not have a modifier inside. I'll give you advantage hacks just because like Silas is a fellow like fucking hero/warrior.
Hell no, that's a dirty 20. So there you
20.
go.
The fact she's not holding her sword because she's not holding her sword because of battle adrenaline or it's not because of like shell shock. It's not because she's scared. No, she's holding her sword because even though this frog is like no longer a danger, even though like he can like be brought away by proper authorities after this point, like she still very wants to like end it like permanently.
Like, nope, you are not doing this anymore. All right. Silas just, well, we are not gonna have this. Silas just has that. We are not gonna have that then. So
After all, heroes kill monsters, don't they? They kill villains.
heroes.
What do heroes do to monsters?
What do heroes do to monsters? They save them. So, as you guys lead this very young, very grumpy and reluctant frog now back through the other carts to dispel all of his runes, you get, he finally does all of that, and then he turns and he says, "There, that's all done. May I go now?" And Silas just barks out laughing at that.
Amelia's sword, which hasn't been put away this whole time, is suddenly very threateningly at the sword's throat again.
He's just
like, I think not.
Okay, all right. I am not free to go. That's fine.
She's just looking at this rock like this. pathetic like frog who would have risked killing an entire train just for money.
Yep.
She's just give me one good reason why I shouldn't kill you right here, right now.
Riona kind of quietly leans in and just says, I do believe there are going to be a lot of police waiting, and I think it would be better if they took care of him.
She considers this. Then she just shakes her head and goes, I can always say it was self-defense.
Do you really want to be stuck with a body for the rest of this visit? Or this ride?
She just shrugs, like she can always go back to their compartment. They could always just leave it here.
There are a lot of witnesses.
There are many witnesses.
Like, I haven't known you for very long, but I don't want you to go to jail. I think that kind of suck.
Silas has a rare moment of, he kind of leans in and having read Amelia's whole deal, just kind of quietly just, if you wait for the authorities, we will invite Cyan into our car for the night.
And she just goes like tasty white at that and like hastily like slams her sword back into her hammer. Fine, but if that frog, if he even steps an inch, if he even tries to escape, I reserve the right to lop his head off his shoulders.
That's, you know what? That's fine. I take that. I will accept that. The frog is just like, he very much is just, he also is pasty white now, but it's from fear, just like, I think I need to go lie down now, and then he just faints.
Amelia kicks him.
Rude, but not uncalled for. Oh my gosh. Okay. Y'all have done it. Y'all,
We have saved a train!
You've saved the train. You stopped my frog puzzle. God, I cannot believe that.
Did you expect 3 nat 20s to be rolled?
No! I didn't expect the barbarian to double crit! Oh my god.
She is built to hit. She is built to hit. You're so pecking lucky she is still level 5. Because I am planning on multi-classing her into fighter and getting action surge.
Oh my god,
no.
action surge is so mean. Oh god. But, okay. So, y'all are, given that they're still trying to keep things on the down low for the rest of the passengers, y'all are very, like, quietly upgraded to first class for the duration of this trip. So you get access to everything there. Madame Morbucks is both very displeased about this development, but she'll deal. Once
I think like there's like this scene where Madame Morbucks like opens her mouth to say something, but both Silas and like Amelia are still holding their weapons.
she just
I want to.
Oh, go ahead.
I want to say that like at some point, like Cyan walks past her and just like happens, quote unquote, to like shake, and there's just like like burst of like blue fur that gets all over, and everyone's like, "Oops, so sorry, I didn't realize you were there," and just like keeps moving.
Yes, I love it. Yes, that is.
She chooses violence.
Yes, you have chosen violence. I see. So that is exactly one thing that happens. Yes, and that is what happens while you are on the train. When you guys finally arrive safely in Happiest Place, there are, in fact, a small swarm of officers there to take Flip, that was his name, was Flip, off of your hands and into custody, and he is most displeased about this treatment, and is harumphing and I-nevering as hard as he can as he's led away in handcuffs.
Please tell me he looks back at like the company that he's leaving to protest the rough treatment, and then suddenly remembers that being in custody might be safer?
Yes, he absolutely does. Yes, I'm fine, I never, and then he just can't be that bad, I guess. And as he is led away, the conductor actually pulls you all aside and very like graciously from both the city, from both Happiest Place and Berg, the originating city of the rail, gives all of you 20 gold for saving the train without causing a fuss. You saved it on the down low, which congrats, like good job there.
I mean, in fairness, part of that was because, like, I don't know what it is with the dice and bullying your character's hex, but like, Amelia rolled the fucking like 2 to teleport. Like, out of all the wild magic she could have rolled,
Yeah, exactly.
one in a chance that he rolled that one.
Yeah. Like, he would have absolutely kept running through the cars, and you would have had to fight him through the cars. But nah, Amelia just was like, nah, it's fine. And, oh, and before I completely forget, where did it go? Where did it go? Where did my thingy go? Because you all get a draft point. There you go.
Draft points, my beloved.
It's so nice.
I'm gonna be saving up. I'm gonna be saving up for that thing, Hex.
But yeah, so y'all get a draft point. Y'all get 20 gold. And whenever you want to ride this rail again, y'all get to ride first class. So for life, you have all been given first class for life from this rail.
Nice.
Yeah.
Amelia's just like nodding to herself, like, yeah, that's the least you can do. Like,
Cyan is. Oh, sorry. Cyan is. Oh, I'm so sorry. Please go ahead. I'm so sorry.
No, you first.
Just Cyan's so excited she gets to ride the train whenever she wants for life. Like, she's just so happy about that. It doesn't even matter it's first class. She would have been so happy with economy.
Aww.
But just like, I get to ride the train! Yeah,
Aww.
I mean, it certainly helps Silas and Riona considering they're traveling all across Anquil.
Yes, they are very happy about that. Riona especially is happy about that.
Good. I'm glad we helped them somehow.
Yeah. Like, they've needed a better mode of travel, and Riona is excited about trains. So
your paladin gets to eat burgers whenever he wants.
he does.
Yes.
And Riona can have her fried chicken. Turns out they love grease. Oh my god.
Greasy, delicious, happy foods. Yes.
Yes. All right. So that is it. Thank you all so much for playing. If you could just say goodbye to the recording for me.
Bye.
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 Bye, everybody.